The following is a presentation of The Day.
As the sun sets on the campus of Waterford High School, the Friday night lights are on and game day is ready to bring you our opening season action as the Branford Hornets travel down to the Waterford High School Lancers, and all the action is live on game day. Game day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with a smile. When you visit our office, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized dental care you deserve. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Casey O'Neill along with a new member of the game day crew. What's better on a Friday night than some pasta? Jose Pasta Sanabria, welcome, brother to the game day crew.
Oh, my God, what a great energy today. I've seen kind of the pre-game atmosphere. We have the blackout crew over here ready to play. Fans are already beginning to action. And as you see, we're about to kick off right here shortly. So let's get this action going.
Waterford will kick off in the home blue. Branford, the Hornets, wearing their home uniforms as well. Their road uniforms haven't been delivered yet, so they're wearing the home uniforms. And to kick off for Waterford, Yankuba Fabre, and off goes the opening kick, a high end-over-end kick, taken almost in the end zone, and heading up the field is Nate Chifo. Chifo breaks a tackle, and the kicker comes in. You love when you have a lineman as a kicker, wraps him up at the 30-yard line, and Branford will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, Yankuba, I was hearing this week from some of the coaches. He likes to call himself Yank, and kicking that ball real deep there was a great opportunity for the Waterford defense to have that long field position. So it's a great start with a good kickoff coverage, and we'll see how it goes right here, 1st and 10.
Last year, Branford 8-2. Their season ended in the semifinals of the state. They lost, ironically, to Killingly, an ECC team, and now they open up here with Waterford. You're going to hear Nate Chifo's name a lot. Quarterback Zach Turbert, they are the returnees, and Chifo is the lone set on what expects to be a very physical game up front. Branford likes to get their hats on you early. 1st and 10, Turbert under center, and we're going to have a false start on the outside. Looks like Akil Lamoti was the victim that time, or the perpetrator that time, as he just got a little bit ahead of himself. It'll back it up 5.
Well, this first game jitters always comes in real quick, and that right there was just that energy. You know, he just anticipated the snap, but he should have been there ready, but hopefully we'll see that kind of winder down when we get the game going rolling.
So backing him up 5 yards, 1st and 15. Ball will be moved back to the 22-yard line. Turbert will get under center, and Chifo will remain as his lone setback. Handoff goes to Chifo up the middle, breaks a tackle and puts his head down, gets back about 3, almost back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's what Branford's going to do today. You're going to see a lot of hat-on-hat football.
Definitely. I think that the linemen are coming off the ball. There was a hole right there, but again, with both energies being really intense, you know, it's going to be a short field game until this gets going. But again, great job with the 4 defensive front here from Waterford. They're big guys. You know, I thought they were going to have, Brand was going to have a big line, but they match up pretty well today.
Brian Page is the lone wideout to the short side of, to our side of the field, the long side of the field. Chifo is the lone set. 2nd and 11. Handoff, Chifo breaks a tackle, stutter steps, and moves forward, crossing the 35-yard line, which will give Branford a short and manageable 3rd down. Waterford sent pressure that time.
Definitely did, but he scattered. He read the key. He saw that the inside A gap was available, and he went right downfield. That's a good run play right there for those guys. Again, that zone blocking scheme is going to be visible tonight. They do step and move the ball really quick, trying to get a gap open in between those plays there. So that was kind of an inside run game there. Again, the pressure from Waterford has to be intense throughout this game.
3rd and 4. Waterford defense, first opportunity to get off the field and turn the ball into the hands of their exciting quarterback, Nate Hines. Branford, 3rd and short from the shotgun. Handoff Chifo, and I don't think he's going to get there. Rushing in, number 55, Nate DePerry, the senior captain, got there first and held him short of the 1st down.
Yeah, Matt Uguccione was there, too, to seal the deal. There was no gap right there, and that puts them in a punting situation right now for Branford. A great series for Waterford. This was some of the things we talked about last week, you know, that they had great defensive series. It's just the energy, how they have to keep it throughout that. So that was a great start for Waterford right now.
Nathan Florio into punt, standing at his own 20, and back for Waterford, Quinn Speller, who has quick feet and is a dangerous return person standing back on the 35-yard line. So Waterford a success here on their first defensive possession. Good snap. Punt is high in the air, bounces at the 36-yard line and takes a Branford bounce, and it'll go to about the 31-yard line where it is downed, and we'll have our opportunity to see Waterford and their senior quarterback, Nate Hines.
Boy, that kid Nate Hines last week, man, he's got a lot of spark to his play. And I think coaches try to keep him back a little bit because when he was playing, he was just kind of following through with the rules. But once they let him cut loose in a couple series, he has the ability to roll out. He has the ability to read coverages, cause the defense to break down. So we're going to see a lot of action tonight with him.
Hines is, I would say, an improviser. He is best when he is able to sort of do things as they come to him. He's not as steady in the set. He's in the pocket. You can see he's not comfortable, but
right.
When he breaks contain and he gets his feet moving, very dangerous. Waterford will play up-tempo. In motion, Derek Rivera. Hines going to throw in first down. A little slant is complete to Quinn Speller, and Speller will have a short gain, maybe 4 yards, but in some ways it almost acts as a running play on first down.
Yeah, that motion across caused that backer to squeeze in, leave the inside lane for that wide receiver. So definitely that corner has to play him over top, and then that made that route a quick, easy pitch and catch kind of play.
Sometimes just because the ball's in the air, the intent isn't necessarily a big play. I think that the intent right there was soften up the middle and gain a couple of yards.
That's right.
Positive yardage. There goes Rivera in motion again. This time, jet sweep by Rivera to the outside. Now he cuts it back up inside, and he'll be close to a first down. And this is the offense we saw late last week in the scrimmage that we expected tonight. A lot of working of the athletes to the outside.
Yeah, we noticed that their team, their front line is just, they're growing into their relationship. This is a new group line, so they did pretty good going to the outside. It's tough kind of in the inside, but we'll see how it adjusts during the game. You never know.
Hines from the shotgun. Jet sweep in the other direction, nothing there. Jax Higgins was the recipient, but hitting him early was number 45. Now, we do not have a number 45 available to us on our program, but I do know that Calvin Baycoat, who is one of the senior linemen for Branford, is listed as 56 on our program, and until someone tells me otherwise, I think that was Calvin Baycoat on the tackle. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13. Ball right on the 40-yard line. Hines in the shotgun. Hines bootlegs, rolls, hit as he's about to throw, and that will fall incomplete. Pressure again coming from the interior line. Baycoat as well as number 25, Drew Schwartz.
That was a good blitz from the outside. That outside linebacker went in there, kept him contained. That's one of the things you have to do with them, Nate, is to make sure that you keep him contained from rolling out. And that right there just destroyed the tempo of the passing throw that was thrown there by Nate. But again, today this defense has to learn to contain him, and I think they've been coached well because right now they're keeping him inside that pocket.
So 4th down, Waterford will punt. 8:04 remaining here in the first period. And it looks like they're going to go for it at the 40-yard line. That's an aggressive call.
Oh, it's 3rd and 13 right now. I think
3rd and 13.
They forgot to flip the card there earlier.
Well, or, I'm just out of practice here. Hines, deep ball, down the sideline. Has a man slightly underthrown and broken up by Chifo. Had a man, Quinn Speller was open. Hines slightly underthrew him, and Chifo knocked it down, and now on 4th down.
Yeah, now we're on 4th. The Quattro is here, brother.
Now on 4th down, we can do the punt.
Yeah, but you know what was really impressive here? Again, Nate stayed in control. Usually he's running and he's hesitating, causing the throw to be there. He threw a nice ball. Again, I think he could have just pushed it a little bit further. That would have been caught. These are the opportunities, again, that Waterford has to take when they're pushing this defense in and sucking them in to get a one-on-one matchup on the outside.
Yeah, Chifo, one of the best athletes on the Branford sideline, was beaten early but made nice catch-up speed there, and the ball slightly underthrown, allowing Chifo to come back and make the play. Speller to punt, low snap, good job getting it off, and it's going to bounce at the 35-yard line and take a Lancer roll to the 25-yard line where it'll be downed, and Branford will have its 2nd possession of the first quarter. No score here at Waterford High School. So very excited. We have a couple of new sponsors this year, and one of them, after the game, we're going to have to join us on social media because we're going to have the Foxwoods Player of the Game out. That's very exciting. Summer isn't over at Foxwoods. You can check out all the great entertainment in September, including The Price is Right Live. Love The Price is Right. For more details, visit foxwoods.com. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. So we have the Foxwoods Player of the Game at the end of this one. Early candidates You know, you're going to call Nate Chifo's name an awful lot.
It seems like Nate and Chifo, the other guys, they're going to be really talented this year. There's a lot of good energy right now. Quick inside run game here. That's the way to probably establish their run game, is just a quick hitters. And in that instance, it looked like Waterford wasn't even ready to go off of the ball there. So, you know.
Little trap to Cole Snyder. Gain of 4 on the first down, so a nice gain on first down for Branford. And the Hornets had a nice drive going, had a penalty, couldn't quite get to the first down, but they like to keep the down and distance short and manageable. Turbert will operate from the pistol on 2nd and 6. Handoff. Big hole in the open. Nathan Florio, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. Hornets sting the Lancers 6-0 with 6:55 remaining in period number 1. Nate Florio got a seam and took it to the house.
That was a great blocking scheme by the offensive line. One guy kind of did a block out. Two guys sealed into the inside linebacker. That linebacker got caught in the mix, and that's why he broke out and he took off.
So with 6:55 remaining, Florio showed great speed, and you saw they had gone Chifo. Then they hit that quick trap. Waterford adjusts. They go delay on the other side. Yeah, that's just good scheme right there by Branford, and they will be an extra point away from a 7-0 lead here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, I think those coaches found out who the linebackers were reading, and then now they left that fullback kind of alone, and you got those quick hits. So here we go.
Robinson with the extra point for Branford, and it is good in a 6:55 here in period number 1. 7-0 Branford over Waterford.
That was a great block.
Branford, very capable, 8-2 last year. A lot of returning players. They have high hopes this year. They're trying to get the taste out of their mouths of that 13-12 loss to Killingly in the semifinals of the state playoffs. And they have aspirations to go back to the postseason. You know, Waterford, 4-6 last year, but winners at the end of 3 or 4 of their last 5, and they really felt coming into the season that they had something to build upon. Great first defensive series, and then right there, one missed tackle off to the races. So now we have to see Nate Hines come back and reestablish Waterford on the offensive side of it.
Defensively, the thing about that is you got to make sure that you respect your gap. And in that situation, that linebacker sucked it in too deep and didn't make the read over top, left that gap wide open, and he just blew it out there.
So Robinson will kick it off. Robinson, the junior for Branford. And back deep, Waterford will send a trio of Lancers, including Quinn Speller and Derek Rivera and Alex Hightower, the big 3 deep for the Lancers. As the sun slowly sets into what will be a beautiful night here at Waterford High School under the Friday night lights. Kick is short and taken by Hightower at the 15. Stutter steps at the 25 and puts his head down at the 30, and Waterford will set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
This is a good opportunity now for Waterford to really pick it up. I mean, they had a couple of good plays and just close to making a great catch here too. So we have an injured player down, looks like number 2.
So we have a timeout on the field with Chifo down, and this timeout brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
Well, the challenge went out to Lancer Nation to pack the stands, and it's a blackout here tonight on the campus of Waterford High School. Lancer Nation, as always, rising to the occasion and filling the stands, and 7-0 their team down early. But remember, 1,000 years ago when we played?
Yeah.
We didn't have organized fan sections like this. I mean, I showed up to all the games, but I didn't have this.
We clumped up in the stadiums. There wasn't enough room to have it. It was just all packed. So, it's good to see them here. I was checking my almanac. I thought it was an eclipse today, the way they're shining off the sun. Hopefully the sun will set and we could stop sweating here a little bit.
Listen, in 1989, 1990, back when the New London High School had the absolute best basketball team I'd ever seen in high school.
Right.
If we had only known that we could have done an organized student segment, like we all showed up in green and gold,
we
didn't know anything.
I think it would have been fantastic how we would have rolled over there. But it was funny because most of us were actually coming from a game somewhere.
That's right.
Most of the games when we were playing basketball, I'm coming from a wrestling meet. Slide right on up there, sit down, and enjoy the Twin Towers of Matt Rollins and Pete Gittins. And all those
I
big
would have
guys.
had a Matt Rollins fat head on my.
Yeah.
And Matt Rollins, who is a fan of Game Day and often listens, that's his nickname for me, Fathead.
Yeah.
Fathead Matt Rollins. I would never say. Not in a million years would I say that to Matt Rollins. But Lancer Nation really is. As you join our crew this year, Game Day has really become about the fans. The student sections in particular, and it's really been led by Lancer Nation. And since then, all the other schools have risen to the occasion, whether it's the Colonel crew at Ledyard or Viking Valley at East Lyme. Yeah. There are always student sections rising to the occasion, matching up. NFA is good. Bacon Academy has started showing up. Bacon Academy at a scrimmage had 200 kids at a scrimmage. So, kudos to Lancer Nation. They are still the gold standard. Speaking of the gold standard, the green and gold standard, New London, they have their crew of kids as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So student sections are definitely a part of it, and there's nothing better
it's
on a
the
Friday
spirit
night.
part of the game. He's standing up right now, so he's okay. I think, we're talking about cramp, maybe an ankle injury right there, but hopefully he'll turn around because he's an important part of the team. But again, going to the spirit of schools, one of the things that we always say, these athletes here are student athletes first. When we coach them up, that's how we told them. But the biggest thing is the spirit of the school, how they have that support there. And tonight shows, that's probably about almost 200 people right there on that side. What do you think? That's packed.
And for a school that size. So we'll talk a little bit about what Nate Chifo's absence might mean for Branford, but he is a starting cornerback. We saw him make a play on the previous drive for Waterford. So Waterford here now with the ball at their own 30-yard line, trailing 7-0. Let's see how they respond.
Looks like Ethan D'Onofrio is right now taking his spot, backing him up. It looks like they're playing a man-to-man coverage here. We'll see how it goes.
Hines wants to throw. Deep ball. Again, looking up, underthrown, and intercepted.
That's the guy that came in and stepped in for Nathan.
Ethan D'Onofrio in the
play.
game for Nate Chifo, and he goes up at the 35 and makes the interception. Again, Speller was open. Speller has the step, and Hines just has to air it out and throw it, throw it as far as he can.
Yeah, throw as far as he can. I think the coaches from Waterford thought, hey, we got another kid in front of him, might not be as competitive. Let's go for it. But again, that throw was a little bit different. He just kind of popped it up in the air. I was really impressed with the quick plays that they had in the beginning, the slant play. Kind of stick to those quick things. Hopefully that'll make them march down the field with a little bit more confidence. But because the ball was thrown so deep, still Waterford has good field position here to defend. So we'll see how it goes. This is a very important series for Waterford.
Kudos to the senior Ethan D'Onofrio. You come in for a magnetic player like Nate Chifo. They challenge you off the bat. You go up and make an interception, and the equivalent of a Waterford punt. And now Turbert will set up shop. 1st and 10 for Branford. New running back in the game as well. That's Florio. Handoff goes to Florio. He, of course, of the long touchdown run. He'll get 2 yards on 1st down. So I think we'll see Nate Florio in the running back role that Chifo had, and see who they add to the mix.
Yeah, that tackle was made by number 50, and that's Chandler Monteviere. Again, coming off the edge, he squeezed it in, made sure that he secured that cutback, and that's what happened. He tried to cut back. There was no hole there to run.
2nd and 8. Turbert.
This trip formation, bunch formation is kind of unique right now.
Hands off to Florio. Florio has a hole, bounces outside, and good job coming up from the secondary. Matt Uguccione comes up.
That's right.
Buries him after a gain of 3. That's a good job by your secondary coming up and tackling.
I get excited when defensive players are disciplined and reading their keys. And in that situation, with the trips to the opposite side, they went and attacked the short field, thinking that they could be a little bit, lack over there. No, they didn't. They actually read their keys, filled their gaps, and that was just a couple-yard gain right there. So gets them in a good situation where 3rd and 5, I know it could be a pass or a run, but in this case, with Branford's tradition being running, the favor's on Waterford's side right now.
Cornerbacks and safeties that can tackle with technique make me very happy. I love watching guys out on an island able to tackle. That to me is very important.
Looks like a timeout for Branford at this time.
A timeout for Branford. We're going to keep it here. Talk a little bit about what we've seen thus far from both Branford and Waterford. I have to say I'm very impressed with Branford losing Chifo and stepping right in and replacing that immediately. On the other side of things, I think Waterford has to be encouraged that both times Speller was wide open.
Right.
And Hines is going to get him that ball as he adjusts to it.
Yeah, right now everything going with these guys are really intense. So they're covering, they're making plays. Some guys are like, really the timing is the thing that we need to work on offense. But what I do like is the multiple formations right now that Branford has. They came in with a trips bunt formation, trying to cause a little mismatch there. The defense from Waterford was like, we're not playing it. But then we'll see what happens. It could be a breakaway in any moment.
Florio will be the lone setback on 3rd and 5. Turbert now calling the play and backing up into the shotgun. Turbert rolls right, looking to throw. Has a man, and in and out of the hands, and intercepted!
What an interception!
Quinn Speller, he couldn't get it as a receiver.
Wow.
Makes the catch as a D-back instead, and Waterford, with the turnover and new life here, will have an offensive possession as the defense steps up.
That was a rollout with a flood coverage pass play. Again, they were disciplined. I think Speller right now realized that the second level was the key read for the quarterback. When he threw it there, he didn't see Speller. Speller ran and chased that ball. Great catch. And now again, defense doing away, keeping the momentum on their side for Waterford. Hopefully this will pick up the offense.
1st and 10, Lancers. Ball marked at the 36-yard line. 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Motion man, snap. Now Hines is going to roll, design, keeper, and it's stripped. The ball is stripped and recovered by the Hornets.
Wow.
On the very next play, Declan Kearney off the end, strip and recovery, and just like that, it's back to Branford.
I love defense, and the way that defense played that series right there, a good read. He read the quarterback, and then not only did he try to go and tackle him, he went for the ball. And then right there, again, that discipline. We talked about it last week. Nate kind of keeps the ball outside. He's just trying to roll with throwing the ball. If he's going to run it, tuck it and hold it and run downfield. That didn't happen right now, and that ball right now goes back to Branford in great field position right now for them.
Branford with the ball now at the Waterford 30-yard line. Turbert.
They're going back to that base formation from the very first series right here.
From the shotgun. Good snap. Handoff. And bouncing outside, no gain. Matt Uguccione for Waterford stepped up and got Lamoti before he could get to the outside. Good play by the Waterford defense.
See, Matt Uguccione had one key read there. This is the kind of quarterback that right now they're not doing a read play, so he knew he was going to give the ball right to the running back, and he went right there and attacked it. Again, another thing, too, we're looking at key positions on how players squeeze to the ball. That thigh board read, I'll talk about it a lot. When you're really working on tackling, you got to make sure you keep that guy inside you, and he did, and he actually made a great play there.
Loss of 1. 2nd and 11. And that's an important point we'll talk about after this play. Turbert, toss, left, cutting inside, breaking a tackle, and ridden down after a 6-yard gain is Lamoti. Finally holding on for dear life was DePerry.
That's right.
He got him down. It's when you're faced with that toss sweep as a defensive player, You got to turn it back inside.
Right.
But you can't go so far outside that you allow the cut, which we saw on the touchdown, the cut right into that open lane.
Exactly. The alley player wasn't there. In a game of football with defense, we're looking for pursuit players from the inside, contained players from the outside, and your alley players are your safety. At that time, the safety didn't read it right, and he broke out for a touchdown. In this instance, they're playing pretty good defense. I like the way they're working on their techniques and getting to the ball. They're flying around today.
3rd and 5, big play for both teams here. Turbert gonna throw, rolls right, pressured, still rolling, keeps it himself, and he's gonna be right at the sticks.
Whew,
we'll see
close.
where the officials mark him. It looks like to be the 22-yard line. So Turbert very close to the first down. We'll see what the officials mark. Looks to be just short.
This is a very important series for Waterford's defense. They've been doing really good right now. And if they can hold them here, it'll be a good chance. I don't know about field goals. We were talking about last week how some teams are not really practicing field goals. And I haven't seen the kickers here today really kick that far. So if they do go for it, obviously it'll be, an attempt for them to try to get into the end zone. Get that first down and work towards the end zone.
They'll go for it here on 4th and short, because if they don't get it, it's the equivalent of a punt. And it's a 38-yard field goal, which I think is right on the edge of a good high school kicker's range.
Right on.
When you start getting to 40 yards, that's challenging. Unless your name's John Potter or Garrett Burdick.
The fans are getting riled up there. The blackout is packed right now, and they are screaming. It's a great opportunity, great play right now. See what
4th
happens.
and a foot. Turbert under center. Handoff. Amodi outside, cuts it back, and he'll have a first down to the 18-yard line. So they relied on the right side of the line. They got the first down. The chains will move, and the clock will run.
Great effort by number 21, Akil Amote. He actually pushed the second run on the rush. He was attacked right on the line of scrimmage, but he drove downfield and got that first down. Branford's maintaining the momentum right now. I'll tell you, for a low-scoring game for the first quarter, it's been really intense, the little things that have been going on.
I can't believe we're not even at the end of the first quarter
No.
yet. We've had 4 interceptions, a fumble, a touchdown run. We had a little bit of everything already, and we're only at quarter 1.
We fulfilled the bucket list in the first quarter.
Turbert on first down. Handoff. Up the middle goes Florio.
Strong run by Florio right there.
And we see Nate Chifo sitting on the bench for Branford. Not to speculate, but that tends to rule out cramps.
Yeah, it does.
When it's that long, which the way he was hauling off looked lower body.
I wish I had my old bird binoculars. I could look over there. I don't know if he has an ice pack on the ankle right now. There's a trainer on him helping him right now, so it looks like he's just probably, he does have ice on his legs there. So hopefully he'll get better.
2nd and 5. Turbert under center.
There's that
Fullback
quick
dive. Cole Schneider to about the 10-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and short. And Branford, just again, hat on hat. This is where they wear you out.
Yep.
These are not meant for the now. These are meant for the later.
Yes, sir. Well, the good thing right now we're seeing is that both these teams are conditioned. We talked about that last week, about how many guys were going to cramp up at the end of the half. It seemed like Waterford had the edge over the Valley Regional scrimmage. So again, looks like they're ready to get on the line and play. Great situation right here for Waterford to make a stop.
Third and short. Turbert under center. Toss left. Florio cuts it back inside. Touchdown, Hornets. Nate Florio with his 2nd touchdown of the game. 1 to the right, this to the left. 13-0 Hornets.
Same exact play, but to the left side. Again, great blocking by the line to make sure that they sealed off. And he ran pretty good. He just saw the hole. He went right downhill and went at it. So a great series for Branford. Again, it started by that, miscue for the quarterback, handling the ball. See what happens when you don't handle the ball right. And that always goes back to the 6-point techniques that, when I coached, we always practiced every day.
Joseph Robinson with the extra point. It is up, it is good, and with 1:22 remaining in period number 1, 14-0 Branford on top of Waterford. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill and Pasta. Coach Pasta, it's funny. You are Coach Pasta, you're Uncle Pasta, you're just plain pasta.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know any. I mean, I watched your Facebook, and you know, I think 3 people referred to you as Jose.
I think my mom, my dad, and maybe my aunt are the only ones that do. But even in the community, I got my new job. I'm a visiting coach, and guess what I'm called? Coach Pasta. So it really fits well. You know, it's a name given to me by the community when I was very young, and you know, I was loved and taken care of for so many years. As you can see, that the belly has a lot of reasons why it's happy. But yeah, that name means a lot to me.
Well, it's funny because I have known you 40 years and didn't know you grew up in the Bronx before you came to New London. I knew you weren't born here, but I never knew about the Bronx until recently.
That was the only time I had a tough time with Mom, when she told me, son, we're leaving New York. We're only about 6 blocks away from Yankee Stadium, and we're moving to New London. Think about it, New York, New London. And I was like, okay, I got suckered into it. When I came to New London at 8 o'clock, everything being quiet, I was a little nervous, but she made a great choice, definitely did.
Little pooch kick by Branford. It's still rolling loose. Waterford's going to have to let it go out of bounds. Smart play by Alex Hightower.
Definitely.
And be a penalty, and Waterford will take it after the penalty is assessed. But, you know, you were not it's a nice Hollywood story to talk about how you so seamlessly slid into New London, and certainly you have become an honorable whaler for life. You are clearly one of New London's finest, but you were a little fish out of water when you first got to New London.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of brothers that in the Whaler Nation have helped me out. You know, they encouraged that brotherhood there, and if it wasn't for them, you know, I think I would have been probably just in the background. But that's a push that we need in life. You know, a lot of people come up and step up to the plate. A lot of mentors. We're talking about coaches in the community that have been doing it since youth football, Little League, that have been part of that. You know, they pass the brand on, and that's how you create and develop some good young men. I'm very happy to be part of that.
Nate Chifo is doubtful to return with a leg injury, and Hines for Waterford on first down. Handoff up the middle, nice gain on first down as the Lancers put it into Jax Higgins' hands, and Higgins rumbles for they're going to give him 10 yards. They're going to say move the chain. So a first down run,
Yeah, that was a great play call. Now what was going on is they're doing misdirection. You know, he's handing off to 2 people. That can create a lot of confusion with linebackers, especially now before they've been working to the outside. So now that quick hit in the inside definitely is not read correctly, and you got a big hole, and there's 10 yards. First and 10 for the Waterford Lancers.
Hines, motion man is Higgins. He gets it again, and it's kept in the middle. That's a nice misdirection by Hines. Fooled everyone, including me. I thought he gave it to Higgins on the jet sweep. He pulled it back. That's the ultimate RPO right there.
Well, didn't our past president say, fool me once, fool me again?
That won't happen.
It won't happen
again.
I guess.
Actually, Peter's laughing right now because it'll happen again. It'll happen a few times. Wait till we do a night game at Fitch, and you can't even see who the numbers are.
Oh, man.
I blame it on the numbers. I think at some point I have to take responsibility.
I think it started with the evolution of those black jerseys that they had back then. I was happy when they wore red, but when they wore black, they were intimidating.
2nd and 11, under 10 seconds when this play gets off. Hines to throw. Pressured, dumps a screen to Hightower. Hightower sidesteps, breaks a tackle, and stays in bounds. Crosses into Branford territory up to the 45-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter at the end of 1. 14 for Branford, nothing for Waterford, but they're driving. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better
Nothing makes me smile like Friday Night Lights, except for maybe Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is their top priority. Visit them at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Game day, Waterford Dental Health, a proud sponsor. And on 3rd and short, Hines will keep it himself, move the chains, cross the 45-yard line. And Waterford, as we start the second quarter, keeping it in the hands of their playmaking quarterback and going right into the no-huddle.
That's right. This is what they did during the scrimmage. They gave them the momentum, and now they're holding it down.
Hines looks to throw, has time, deep sideline ball, and it's just over the top of C.J. Landry. Landry, the exciting sophomore. We saw him as a stud on the lacrosse field last year as a freshman, an impact freshman, and now an impact sophomore as he had a step, but the ball was just overthrown.
I think Landry right now forced to, make it difficult for the quarterback. When you're running a straight fade route like that, you want to stay inside the numbers, but give that quarterback a little bit of cushion so he can hit it out of bounds without the defender being there. At that time, he ran the route so tight to the sidelines, the ball was overthrown in the sideline. So
I'd like to see Landry run that route up to like more of a post and get it in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's very tall.
Because I think that's where you can take advantage of the small. I mean, if you look at
the height mismatch right there is really relevant right now.
Rivera, the motion man. Hines with a hard count. Free play, it looks like.
Oh.
And it got to jump into the neutral zone, and the penalty is thrown.
Nate just tossed the ball to his teammate. Quinn Spelly wasn't seeing it. Gets hit in the face. Brought me back to some good memories there when, in your focus, we had our quarterback just throw the ball at us to keep us paying attention.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against Branford for offsides, and it'll move the football across the 40-yard line to the 39. So Waterford will have it 2nd and 5.
Nate's barking out some calls, and his calls are really kind of causing that defense to jump a little bit. There
Big
we go.
Hole, and the handoff goes to Brady Sutman, the sophomore. Sutman, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the 743rd Sutman to come through Waterford in the last 6 years. But the Sutman name, as we have known on game day, of course, older brother Will, Sutmans are always a prominent part of Waterford sports.
Yeah, very athletic family.
Hines rolls right, stuck as he gets hit. I should mention, since I mentioned Will Sutman's name, I have it on good authority that Lancer alumni Jordan Elsey, Mason Kincasia, and Will Sutman are all watching game day right now from their college campuses. Oh, really? Can't believe they're at college, but they're all watching game day right now. And their Lancers down 14-0, but moving the football here, 2nd and 10. Hines fakes the handoff, pressured, sidesteps. This is where he's dangerous, throws, and it's tipped. Oh, he had exactly what he wanted, which was just a little bit of improvisation, but the ball was tipped, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
It actually was caught by Jack Higgins. He made the catch there, so I thought it was going to be an incomplete, but the referee did mark it and wind it, so it's 3rd right now, and it looks like 6.
You know what? That's a great call and great eyes on your part. That catch happens right in front of the bench. So you're going off of what you see from the officials, which is using your noggin.
I'll tell you right now, we got to talk about them a little bit later about perspectives and what they do so that our parents can understand what's their job. Sometimes they'll yell at the ref, not know what's going on. And in that situation, that referee was right there on the mark.
Big difference on 3rd and 10. Now it's 3rd and 5 instead. RPO. Sutman tries to bounce it outside, and he's wrestled Moti on the tackle, and also brought in there was Barnacow. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and I think down here, Waterford's going to go for it. 4th and 6, and they're running right up to the line here.
Yeah, Branford slow played that right there, and they read that read, and they followed through with it. They did a real good job on that defensive play right there.
And a hard count by Hines. He tried to get a jump, and they said no, he didn't get it. I thought they had a little movement, but he couldn't quite get the thing in. So instead, we'll get a timeout. And Waterford will take a timeout to talk things over. 4th and 6. 9:30 remaining here in the first half. 14-0, Branford on top.
Well,
so we're very excited this year. New sponsor for the player of the game. It's going to be the Foxwoods player of the game. So after the game, of course, you're going to want to find us on our social medias at Game Day CT, so you can see the interview with the Foxwoods Player of the Game. But, you know, as the sun sets and Friday night lights get here, you might think summer's over. But summer is never over at Foxwoods. It's certainly not right now. Check out all the great entertainment for September, including The Price is Right live. I grew up on The Price is Right. I love Price is Right. For more details, visit foxwoods.com. And, of course, Foxwoods, the wonder of it all.
What a great night so far. The cheerleaders right here are really causing the fans to step it up. You know, blackout is still, they have not sitting down since the kickoff. You know that? They're just standing up there, cheering on along the way.
I had to take a seat.
Yeah,
I was up with them.
Well, you did pretty good. You did a whole first quarter.
I did.
You know?
I did. Now I'm going to sit for a little bit, and I'll get back up again.
I did have a cramp, and I had to follow suit, but thank God you led the way. I'm a little shy.
4th and 6, big play. Hines in the shotgun. Pressured. Heads up, he's going to keep it. Bounces to the outside, breaks a tackle. First down, Lancers, as he crosses the 20 to the 15. Big individual play by senior Nate Hines.
I tell you, I love that kid. His toughness is 100% pure. And he talked about it during the interview. He says he's the kind of kid that just loves to look for action and then, you know, really step up to the play. It shows his teammates that he's out there 100%, and that brings loyalty to the team.
And it's going to be a penalty, I think, on Sutman. With a step back, and it's going to be a false start. You know, that interview with Hines, he talks about honoring his father, you know, as he plays. You know, he talks about the coaches saying, you know, you don't have to get hit on every play, right? You know, you don't have to look for contact. And that's the way he plays. You know, he likes to mix it up. He likes to make things happen, and he's not afraid of contact. And that's what Waterford, over the course of a season, the balancing act of your most dynamic player and trying to protect him at the same time.
Well, Nelson, you also mentioned he talks about his dad being in the game with him, too. He talks about those little things. And, again, that toughness comes from his upbringing.
He also said a lot of it could not be said on the radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, you know what, some of the things my dad said are between the two of us.
That's true.
Hines, deep ball over the middle, just
so
over the top of Speller. Incomplete, and I think he wanted that one back. Speller ran free into the back of the end zone and just high.
There was a broken coverage right there with the corner. He was expecting the safety to help him there, and he actually did. And the safety stayed in the middle of the field, his half, and he could have had an easy touchdown right there. Again, this tempo about throwing the ball and timing, you know, it's repetition in practice. This goes boiling back down to passing league, you know, things like that. But when you play the first game, man, boy, does that nerve and energy kick in. It just makes you a half tick slow or a half tick fast.
8:45 remaining in the half. 14-0 Branford on top. Lancers with their best opportunity of the game. Inside handoff. Broken tackle. Heading to the outside, it looks like Higgins. Jax Higgins did take the inside handoff there, and that play looked disastrous, but he found a little bit of wiggle room.
Here's the misdirection part about that. Yes, those defensive players were looking for a specific read. They were going for Hines, and lo and behold, he just gave it to him the last second and let Jax get that ball for a good play.
3rd and 9. Keeper, Hines, up the middle, runs over the top of Barnacow inside the 10, and it's going to be 1st and goal, Waterford. Hines, that time, wasn't looking to avoid contact. No. He was looking to inflict.
That was a great mesh read by him. He held the ball the last second. That linebacker came and made the commitment to the running back. He pulled, and he ran downhill. He's a really tough kid. I mean, my thing is how long he's going to last in a game like this where, you know, second half, you're going to have guys cramping up and all that. So I'm hoping he's hydrated. I'm hoping both teams are, you know, really dedicated to that pre-game kind of ritual, especially going to a full day of school probably and dealing with things and then now getting ready, prepared for a football game. We used to always have our guys notified, hydrate as much as you can. And, you know, in this instance, I think both teams look very healthy, very conditioned.
They do, and, you know, week 1 is so interesting to me, not just in high school football, but across, you know, all, whether it's college football. You know, you watch Notre Dame play Ohio State, and you go, you know, who's for real? Who's the team that's not playing well right now? Who's playing over their heads? You watch Buffalo, you know, take it to the Rams last night, and you go, oh, is that really what we're going to see all year from them? And same thing here. We're looking to see which, you know, is Branford really this good, or is Waterford, you know, is Waterford going to play like this all year? And you look around the league tonight and tomorrow at all the teams, and you're going to see the scores and immediately jump to way too many conclusions about, you know, that team. They might not win a game.
It takes time to build a rapport and know what teams do what. And in the first game, you never know. That's what makes it beautiful for game 1. These formations are sometimes, you know, not even drawn up in the board for coaches. So they're working off their hip.
first and goal. Ball at the 6-yard line, and we're going to get a little bit of jump. I believe we're going to see encroachment on the defense, and that'll put it halfway to the goal line, so it's going to move it to the
I'd tell you,
3.
Nate is barking out there, and he's causing a lot of these defensive linemen not to look at the offensive lineman in front of them and defensive linemen just really kind of just confused. They should just be focused on their opponent going off the ball there. But he's barking them.
Handoff. Sutman to the 2-yard line. So Brady Sutman, inside handoff, maybe gets it down inside the 2, where it'll be 2nd and goal.
Again, you know, those cadences really help out.
Quarterback keeper flag down.
Let's
If that's lined up in the neutral zone, then it's not going to matter. But if it's anything against Waterford, it's going to back them up.
Well, if the side judge throws that penalty, chances are it might be a formation issue. Let's see how it goes. But it looks like they're favoring right now. Oh,
illegal shift against Waterford.
Illegal shift. Yeah.
And that'll bring up 3rd and goal, unless they take the penalty, which is an interesting decision for Branford. Do you want the 5 yards or do you want the down? I almost think you want the 5 yards, only because they're going to go on 4th down as well.
Push them
so
back.
Give them the extra 5.
This situation here is not like it's the opposite side. You want that defense to push them back and, give right now a little bit of a cushion. You could set up a blitz play here. You could really put some pressure on the edges. So it's something that favors Branford when you have them in like a 2nd and 6 situation, as opposed to a 2nd and 2 where you're going to play goal line.
Landry and Higgins go left. Rivera and Speller to the right. Sutman in the backfield with Hines. Hines rolls right. Pressured. Throws, and it's incomplete. Lucky it was not intercepted, as that throw was at the feet of Speller, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line.
Yeah, well, that Branford defense stunted in there, and they were free to go after Nate. He didn't have enough time to get that throw in.
New personnel heading into the game for Waterford. Devin Powers, along with Noah Westcott and Alex Hightower. So new personnel, so we'll see what package. Now Hightower sprints back off the field. What package they come with here on 3rd and goal. This would be, I think, a time where we see a play we have not seen yet.
Right. But again, right now these guys have been playing with this formation and mixing it up, and you can see going outside right now, they're working that run.
Jet sweep to Rivera, and he was met hard by Florio and cleaned up by D'Onofrio, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
That Branford defense read it real quick and said it ain't happening. Puts them now in a 4th down situation. Waterford has to find a play that's going to work. Again, we talked about field goals. What could help this team out? This is a tough situation for a coach to make a call. Do they have a field goal personnel there that could give them some points? I think they're going to go for it. So right now, that's what we're looking for.
Also a tough spot for a field goal, left hash, close in. I've always thought this was a tough spot.
It's always practiced every day after, our sessions. You take them left hash, right hash, work it around, and it's a dedicated practice time that we have for our team. So, if they worked on it, could have seen it happen.
Rivera in motion. Hines to throw. Over the middle, has a man. Touchdown, Lancers!
Wow.
Jax Higgins with the first touchdown of the season for Waterford, in the air from Nate Hines. Lancers on the board, 14-6.
A well-designed play, which the 2 receivers are working on some in routes, and the inside receiver breaks out, makes that linebacker go with the out route, wide open on the inside, a great clear path to throw the ball. So good series for Nate Hines. He actually was the one that established that toughness and made the Waterford Lancers march down the field. Yonk is up right here to kick.
I love the kicker who wants to tackle you more than he wants to kick the ball.
Yeah, Yankuba.
Quite a leg. High snap. Kick is up. It's a low line drive, but it's good. And with 6:26 here in the first half, Waterford right back in it, 14-7. Branford on top, and the Lancer faithful happy here that they're back in this ballgame.
The marching band right now is hitting the notes full speed.
Name that tune.
You know what? I'm right now in a brain with the whole thing.
On Wisconsin.
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 I gotta call my brother Henry from Wisconsin and tell him I'm sorry.
All right.
He's watching this tonight. He's probably saying, brother, this is a song that we play all the time, Imagine that.
On Wisconsin, fight right through that line. run the ball right to Chicago. We will win this time.
Wow. Hey, did I tell you that my niece right now is only 6 blocks away from Wrigley Field?
She going to move to New London too?
Well, hopefully, maybe when she gets the acting job in New York City. We'll see what happens. My mom said that she'll have a room and plenty of food, so I'm going to make sure that I'm there when that happens.
Speaking of which, I was kind of looking for a little Tupperware with some sofrito in it tonight.
Well, I wanted to bring some, but I finished my job and I went back and I had to make sure I ironed my pants tonight to make sure that you look good. So when I called my mom for my blessings, I said, sweetheart, this is what we used to do every time before a football game, even in college. I'd call, just like Father Con, my mama, can you give me the blessings? So today she prayed for us and said, Papa, I want you both to be enjoying it and loving it. And I said, really, Mom, could you just make sure that the sun gets away from our eyes? And she said it was going to happen around 7:10. And guess what? The sun is down, the lights are up, brother.
Just to be clear, I am loving it. I'd love it a little more with some sofrito. Just saying, maybe next week.
We will definitely put that in for next week, as she's probably watching it too. So she's probably getting herself up and ready to prepare it tonight.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, I might have to go over there and go to ShopRite to shop with, get the stuff.
Squib kick, taken and run out of bounds by Barnacow at the 30-yard line. So with 6:23 remaining in the half, and now Waterford back in it, and Waterford will get the ball to start the second half. This is an important drive for Branford. They've had some mixed results since Nate Chifo, their senior captain, left the game early. They've had some success with Florio running the football, but overall, not as crisp and efficient as they appeared to be on drive one.
Definitely a hurt for Branford right now. That young man, Nate Chifo, was doing some damage off the first series, and for him to be out right now, this team is trying to find a way to get their leaders to step up. Senior leadership is important in this series right now. They got to get the ball downfield. They have plenty of time to do so, so we'll see how this series sets up.
Lamoti is the back in the eye, and toss left. He gets the carry, looking to bounce it to the outside. Good pursuit by the Waterford defense. Good gain on the play of 5 yards, but credit the Lancers for never giving up on the pursuit, and it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Hornets.
Quinn Spiller and that young man, Nate DePerry, both those guys were pretty good there reading the play and getting in sealed. But I think that corner should have just had a little bit more ump to seal it off. The defense on the inside made sure they played their gap there. This is the old I formation from back in the day when we played. When you try to get to the outside, you want to make sure that corner is a true force there.
I like the corner who comes up and attacks that play, forces it back to the inside by blowing up that wide receiver on the outside.
They definitely got to keep that outside hand free and make sure they pull everything inside to their teammates.
Broken tackle, and Lancers run into the ball, so that's a good job of the defense swarming. First person on the play for Waterford was Devin Powers. Powers, who's coming up a little bit limping, but he did a great job. He forced it back to the inside and allowed that pursuit.
And a great read by Matt Uguccione. He was working inside to outside in that, and when they wrapped him up, he wasn't going anywhere. This defense right now is showing a little bit of pride in themselves. They're holding it down. They want to make sure that they can get to the point of attack. And now that the momentum has changed in favor to Lancers, this is a big, important series for Lancers as well. It's 3rd and short. If they stop them here, they got great field position.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the half, 14-7, Branford on top. 3rd and short, 3rd and 2, and the Hornets here, a first down would go a long way. Waterford defense trying to get the ball back for Nate Hines and their offense. Turbert from the shotgun. Hands off to Florio. Florio, big hole up the middle. Florio breaks to the outside, looking for a block. One man to beat. Florio at the 20. Florio at the 10. Florio, touchdown Hornets. The hat trick on the night. Nate Florio has stung Waterford.
Boy, this momentum is teeter-tottering like a seesaw. And that play right there was a good old-fashioned power off tackle play where the fullback led and kicked the linebacker out. But then he also did a great job by reading the inside. He saw that the inside opening right there, that safety wasn't there, and he took it off and he torched right down all the way to the end zone. So great play for Branford there. With
Captain Nate Chifo out with a leg injury, it's the Nate Florio coming out party here. 20-7 and the extra point on the way. Robinson kick is up and it is good. 4:32 remaining in the half. 21-7. Branford on top. Another big run from Branford's Nate Florio. And you know Quinn Speller's fast. We know that. And Speller was the one chasing him. So if you're wondering if Florio has wheels, You don't have to ask anymore because Speller couldn't get him, and Speller can move.
Yeah, well, my track experience in coaching track athletes, one thing I like to see when running backs are, they're not looking left and right. Once they see that opening, they turn into what we call a perfect form. A lot of our guys we used to teach with our football program was when you hit the jets, be a track star. Run high and make sure you secure the ball. And what he did, once he got to that 30-yard line, he was just a track star working towards the end zone.
You know, it's funny because a lot of times that question is asked, right? Why don't we just get the fastest people in the world and put them on the football field? Well, there is a big difference. Just like a player running on the basketball floor and running trying to dribble, a football player with the football, you can see guys who don't lose a step and other guys who, they can't even run anymore. Suddenly they're like, they're looking like a newborn baby deer out there when they have a football.
It's definitely tough to run with a football. That's why those drills that the running backs coach do to make sure they build balance and technique and footwork. Those three things can help balance. You're really kind of an amputated, secured guy with that football high and tight. That's what we say in football. Keep that ball high and tight and secured inside your chest plate so that the defender can't slap it or punch it. And so when you run like that, it's all form with the other hand and driving those knees up.
Robinson with the kick, low line drive taken by Speller at the 20-yard line. Speller looks for a seam and gets it back to the right hash and over the 40-yard line. So Waterford with good field position, 4:25 remaining. Back to the running backs. There are running backs who are very particular about which arm they carry the ball in, too. You'll see a guy break open the open field and switch the ball over from right to left or left to right because that's the side that they feel the best with running the football.
It's good. It's true. It's true to a point because there's some things that we like to always say as a coach to a player. When a running back works to the outside, let's say he's working to the right side, we keep the ball to the right side and the outside. That way, if it ever gets punched, we have the sideline to help us out. If they try to keep that ball inside the left, what happened, it could be punched and ripped into the field, and then they can get that ball lost. So there is some techniques in that too.
First down to Waterford. Hines from the shotgun. Delayed handoff. Sutman breaks a tackle and then tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. D'Onofrio, who has come in for Chifo and done a fabulous job, has the senior, Ethan D'Onofrio.
We're seeing some of these guys cramp up a little bit here on the sideline. So now you know that in the second half, it's who's going to stay hydrated and be able to play with some discipline now. The psyche of the game is all about learning how to be where you need to be. So when you're tired, maybe your body might not be able to go.
We're going to talk about the difference in a second here between high school players cramping in the first half and college and pro players cramping in the first half in 1 minute. Hines, pressured over the middle on a little in route, and it's caught by Higgins, but he's wrestled to the ground almost immediately. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. If you are a player for, let's say, the New England Patriots, and you're cramping at halftime, you go in and you get an IV electrolyte solution to rehydrate. Same thing at the University of Alabama, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's two different ways. First of all, you got tons of trainers.
Yep.
You got a lot of student trainers that come out and help and make sure all the players are there. So when I see some guys cramping in college football, I'm not, really happy because those guys have the best of the best. In high school, these guys have been in school all day.
Give them a banana. Give them a banana. Tell them to get back out there.
That's right. It's a tough mentality, but sometimes you have to be dedicated. As a student athlete, you got to be dedicated to make sure you stay hydrated for a game like this.
Hines, time. Now he rolls. Look to pass. Back across his body. Finds Speller. Speller at the 40 with wheels. Crosses the 30. First down, Lancers. Credit two things.
Yes.
Hines for the vision and the offensive line for staying put. That's an easy offensive lineman downfield.
Casey, you were right. Those guys stayed with their blocks as best as they could. In that series, there was not too much penetration. Maybe right now the Branford defensive line with their hands on their hips are a little bit tired. And now this is the momentum we talked about with Waterford. Can they take a situation like this where they're better conditioned and work down the field? It's showing right now with 2:36 on the clock, they could get a chance to score.
Hines at the 35-yard line. Hands off, Sutman. Sutman has a little bit of a hole to the outside, bounces out of bounds. We're going to get a flag from the back judge.
We have a holding call.
That's going to be a hold probably on one of the wide receivers.
Yeah, that was a perimeter play, and Sutman had felt his block. But at that time, what happened was the lineman didn't really keep his feet. And so when you do that and you lose that grip, the thing you're doing is you're grabbing cloth. Referees see that, it's an automatic hold.
2 minutes and 15 seconds here in the first half, 21-7, Branford on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill and Coach Pasta Santabria here on the campus of Waterford High School. Of course, this is the first of many weeks of action that we look forward to bringing you whether it's football, soccer, volleyball. We will have all the action in all the sports here as the fall opens up in high schools across the ECC and Connecticut. 1st and 20, ball at the 40-yard line. Hines with trip receivers to the right, 5 total receivers in the package. Hines to throw, pressured, steps and rolls outside, looks to throw, has a man, and he overthrows Rivera, who was open, broken coverage, and Hines, as that's the most difficult throw there is, but he had it.
You know why I used to always say pumpernickel? It's because it kept me close from not really saying words that I shouldn't say. That's when we call a pumpernickel situation. So close. We're seeing that he's got a chance to make great plays. In that situation, that formation is really what we call gator, an empty back situation. And he knew he had a chance to throw one of the backs because now you have to have a linebacker inside, try to cover a quick receiver. And in that situation, there was a mismatch. He just should have nicely tossed it up there. Hopefully it would have been, done better. But we'll see what happens because, again, they're in that same formation with the trips on the bottom side.
2nd and 20. Hines, pressured, steps up, breaks a tackle, easy feet, crosses the 30, cuts it back inside, crosses the 20, down to the 14-yard line, but a first down, it looks like, as he gets to inside the 20. They're going to mark him at the 18. That's a first down for the Lancers, all on the legs of Nate Hines.
What a special kid. Even though he evolves while he plays. Because what he did there was when he ran, he learned from his lesson. He tucked that ball in, he ran downhill.
Little bubble screen, and it's handled very quickly.
Seems like the coaching staff from Waterford really wants to mix the quick tempo game and maintain this defense in there. It seems like they're right now, the front line is just tired. They're leaning over right now, taking deep breath. This is a tough situation for Branford right now. This is going to show adversity if they can handle it.
It's going to be 2nd and 14, so loss of 4 by Speller. And the clock is now down to a minute. I think Waterford a little unsettled here on this play. Let's see what they come up with. Hines going to throw. Now he's pressured. Rolls left. This is where he's dangerous. Throws. Caught by Higgins at the 15-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and I think you're going to see a timeout. And a timeout is taken by Waterford.
Woo.
With 42 seconds remaining and a 21-7 lead for Branford. We're going to take this timeout, and it's brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Big 3rd and 8 play. Lancer Nation cheering on Hines. Hines,
There's
pylon route. It's there, and
There's
a
a
penalty. Pass interference in the end zone. Speller was looking back, and Brian Page interfered with him in the end zone, so that's a huge penalty. It's going to give Waterford a first down. It's going to get them all the way down halfway to the goal line there, so they're going to be setting up shop inside the 5 with 37 seconds remaining and getting the ball to start the second half. This is that old Patriot score and get the ball. This is a huge double dip right here.
This is a great opportunity, and to stay close in this game. What we were asking in Waterford throughout the week, I was talking to some of the coaches, is we could stay close. We could stay just playing with them, and we could find some adversity with our youth guys in there that right now playing both ways. Ironman football in the first game is very tough to go through, that they could have an opportunity like this to score, come back in the second half of the ball.
1st and goal. Ball at the 8-yard line. They got to fix the sticks, because right now the sticks are not accurate.
Yeah, they got to move the chains down, or the chains are out. One of the two.
Well, it should be.
Because if it's inside 10, we don't need the chains.
Pass interference in the end zone. It's going to be an automatic first down. No, third. Oh, that's the change in rule. That's the that's the change in the high school rule. So it's
3rd and 2.
Yes, they mark the penalty off. It'll be 3rd and 2. Ball sitting where it belongs at the 8-yard line. We went through this a couple of years ago. Hines, pressured, rolls, breaks, contained, and sacked. Sacked back at the 20-yard line with 30 seconds remaining and the clock running. It's going to bring up 4th down for Waterford.
That was Drew Schwartz from the edge right there as he came, again, containing him because he's always had a chance to go to the left easily, but he was disciplined. He stayed back, and that cost the Waterford Lancers a timeout and some chunky time that they could use.
28 seconds remaining. It'll be 4th down, and the ball will be back at the 20-yard line. They need to get to the 8-yard line for a 1st down. So it went from 3rd and 2, and it's now going to be 4th and almost 10. Either way, regardless here, a touchdown would be just enormous. But I think what we've seen offensively, Waterford's going to keep the tempo going. They're going to try to wear out this Branford defense. On the other side of the ball, though, the Waterford defense has been pretty solid, burned by 2 real big plays.
Yeah, that off-tackle play, it has to be constructed back to the coaches. When a situation like that occurs, we coaches, we have to dialogue and say, what's going on there? What play are we calling that's making that? Or what player is making the undisciplined read? You know, things like that need to be corrected by halftime.
Do you remember the movie Coach Carter about the basketball team?
Yes, sir.
He said they would be, they said no one would ever be in better condition than them. I think Waterford, there's a little bit of that mentality right here where they're going to just go pedal to the metal.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see what happens in the 4th quarter if the other team, did they work as hard as you did?
Exactly.
4th down. Ball at the 19-yard line. Hines has Sutton next to him. Pressure off the edge from Baycoat. Hines rolls right, has a man in the end zone. It's Speller. Touchdown, Lancers!
That magic man, he's a great athlete. I'll tell you, 4th and 8, 9, and he still found a way to have the guts to make a great play like that. Awesome job.
All night long, Hines has been trying to get the ball into Quinn Speller's hands. This time he does for a touchdown. 21-13 with 20 seconds remaining in the half. Momentum firmly switching to the side of the Lancers.
Wow, he has found ways to keep himself just mobile. Again, containing on the outside, broken down. He found a way to get out there.
Big play as the extra point is blocked. We saw the second extra point almost blocked. This time Branford gets there, and with 20 seconds remaining in the half, Waterford has cut it to 1 score, and they'll be getting the ball back to start the second half.
Wow, what a game so far. Great energy. Momentum has been going back and forth. And this is what you want in a first game. 2 disciplined teams that had started basically from lifting weights, building a relationship, coming to learn what system they're going to use, the identity they're supposed to be led by their coaches, the coaching staff working all together to build that bond. And right now we see 2 good teams that are fighting. I love that kind of style of football, Sometimes we'll see one that goes right under the porch, and we were expecting, a lot of people were talking about, well, is Waterford capable to play against a Branford team that last year was a very good program? Right now they're showing guts. I like this Rocky Balboa swagger that they have, and it's led by their quarterback.
100%. Now, for those of you out there watching who are, younger than me, you all think that this improvisation stuff was invented by Patrick Mahomes. And for my generation, they think about Brett Favre. It goes way back before then. It goes back to the origins of football, the scrambling quarterback. But for me, I look at Hines and I see Brett Favre. I see the guy who's can throw it from the pocket, but becomes super dangerous when he's just improvising, gunslinging out there.
I'll throw a peppercorn in there. He reminds me of Frank Tarkington from the
There you
Minnesota
go.
Vikings, and he found a way to be incredible in all those plays. So, it's a great job that we can still see tradition and history through the game of football.
Line drive, kick, bounces. Florio takes it at the 15-yard line. And Florio wrestled down from behind at the 25. Nice coverage by the Lancers, and with 15 seconds remaining, you'll see deep prevent from the Lancers, and I think you'll see Branford just put this thing to bed and head into halftime and regroup.
A shout out to number 4, Mac Giguccione. That young man ran downfield and he did a shimmy drill. Sometimes people don't understand when you're going full speed and you have to find your way to contain. A shimmy drill is the key, throwing those hips down and reading it. He got off the block and made a play.
Branford's going to take a knee and send this thing into halftime. Right now, I think Branford's going to talk back to the drawing board here, because right now they need to find a way to stop Nate Hines. Well, we are going to be heading into halftime here. Branford 21 on a hat trick of touchdowns by Nate Florio, taking the brunt of the load off of the injured Nate Chifo. On the other side of things, Waterford, Nate Hines. It's a Nate affair. There's Nates everywhere tonight. Hines has been making the plays for the Lancers. It's a one-score game. We're at halftime at Waterford High School. Second half action on the other side. You are watching Game Day live on theday.com.
My dad passed the Sunday after my first start against Ledger my freshman year. I use football as a big way to cope with it because he coached me my whole life, so I feel like just that connection with him in there. And then just I always hear his voice after every play I make or like a mistake I make. I know he'll be saying something to me. Some of the stuff I can't say on here, but he's just saying, like, you know, telling me what I did wrong or telling me, like, good job and, you know, keep going, keep pushing, work harder, that kind of stuff. Coach Nolded and Coach Bake did a lot for me. You know, I just had support from really the whole team, honestly. And, you know, right, even when first day I showed up, they kind of just brought me in, and I just felt like a part of the team, even though I'd been missing for 2 years, I hadn't won. There's just a lot of people in my life that have helped me since he's passed, and like a lot of his friends that enjoy helping me and watching me grow just the same way he did when he was younger.
Last year, one of the things that you didn't do so well was avoid contact.
Yeah.
You know how important you are to the team. Is it hard to be, I got to be a tough guy, but I also have to stay on the field?
Yeah, it is hard because, you know, those other teams, if you do avoid that contact or slide or run out of bounds, you know, they take it as, you know, I'm scared to get hit by them or anything like that. I'll tell you, I'm not scared by it. Nobody scares me. I'll take a hit by anybody and get right back up and get in your face. But definitely this year I'll be taking less hits.
I believe that there's moments that really change your life. And the talent show is definitely one of those moments.
I'm not alone in this world. Seems like everybody out there wants to have a chance to be.
The talent show basically legit saved my life. I would have probably been in jail or probably be dead.
Put me back in my place, but I won't make it easy on them.
I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor.
I was addicted to alcohol, opiates, then it turned to heroin.
It's very taboo to be gay or to be trans.
And it's never been so clear that you got a place. Now show us your face and get up on that stage and let the world know.
We're not looking for sympathy, that's not what we're doing. We're looking to prove a point that arts can heal.
That space, that energy, that magic, that's already therapeutic in itself. And that's what this New London Talent Show does. It allows young people to rip off labels that people put on them and come out of their own box or their own fears.
Look, know that you can do anything that you try to do with faith in the man above and power that's inside of you. They'll try to stop you, don't let them block you or lie to you. If you let them, then they're liable to silence you.
We could have been the stereotype. We could have been those people and fit the mold. The true measure of a person is how they respond to the negative things, how they respond to tragedy. And this is our response.
This place destroys fear, destroys it, and empowers young people.
Pouring rain outside. You guys are going to be outside practicing in the rain. Kind of seems to fit the style of Branford football. Is this fun for you to practice and playing like this?
Hell yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, it's so fun.
Talk about your mindset from last year, walking off the field, to this year, walking on the field.
I mean, well, we know last year doesn't really mean much anymore, so we got to focus on this year and just get the job done.
When did you turn the page from last year and start focusing on this year, and what was your focus?
I think it's, as soon as you get in the weight room for the next coming year, you got to start looking at what comes next. But the big message that we've been saying is, every year is a new trial. Even if every single kid from that team came back, it's a new year, it's a new team. So everybody kind of has to, pull their own weight, give maximum effort. You can, never feel like you've arrived.
Now, Branford, you've got one of the more unique styles in the state, right? You don't put the ball in the air a lot. You traditionally run the ball a lot. But even though you're pretty consistent with what you do, very, very successful. How much pressure is that as a lineman, knowing that the other team knows what's coming and you still have to deliver play after play after play?
In the beginning of the year, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's a little butterflies in the stomach, but once we get out there and once we start banging against each other, all we know is that as long as we're physical, we're good.
What's one thing you have to do on offense and one thing you have to do on defense in order to get to where you want to be?
Well, I'm kind of old school, and I just still feel like it's never going to change at the high school level. If you can stop the run and you can establish the run, then you're going to have a chance to win every game.
Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
We are back at Waterford High School. What a first half of football. Branford on top 21-13, but Waterford and senior quarterback Nate Hines not only not giving in, but fighting back and scoring late in the first half. And we are, I believe, in store for quite a second half of football. Casey O'Neill along with Pasta, Santabria, and Coach, I mean, how would you describe that first half of football?
I tell you, that young man is like a bottle of ketchup. He had 47 varieties. He was just a Heinz on the field.
Well, that would make him a Heinz 57. Actually.
Could be. I mean, he had different ways to find a way to get open. And again, Branford's defense was doing a great job trying to contain him, but his elusiveness, his ability to react, that's one thing that you're not able to coach. You just drill those things. But he made plays in the beginning that were so close, so we knew that he had a chance. The thing was Branford going to take it away with that running game? And they didn't. They just let Waterford stay there.
We saw early Branford lost their senior captain, Nate Chifo. He's their number one running back. He's also their cornerback. And defensively, they got a fill-in right away from Ethan D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Interception, some tackles. They seem to have done a nice job with D'Onofrio stepping in for Chifo on the defensive side.
Yep.
And then on the offensive side, we've seen Nate Florio rush for 3 touchdowns. So on the face of it, it doesn't seem like Branford's missed a step. But the energy that Branford had with Chifo in the game and the energy they have now, a little bit off.
Big difference, big difference. And one thing I got to say, though, the coaching staff over there knew where to place their guys. Again, sometimes repetition is important in practice, so those secondary guys don't get as much as the first guys. So for him to go and react immediately, step inside, know that that play was coming toward him, to make a great play like that, kept the momentum on Branford's side. And again, replacing that running game, because he, I got to say, that young man, Florio, just came in and decided, hey, let's go run power with power. It was just a basic play, and they broke the hole, and he took off and did the Jets with that after.
So in the first half, 142 rushing yards for Nate Florio to go along with those 3 touchdowns. I mean, 142 yards in the first half as the guy taking over for the leading rusher. That's a great way to get off and started.
Yeah.
Now Hines on the other side as the rushing quarterback, 45 yards on the ground and 7 carries. He fumbled the football, of course, that one time. And then in the air, 9 for 16, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. But it seems like every one of those incompletions was a pass that he had a guy and would like back. He got better. But is there anybody better once contain gets broken? Like when he scrambles out of the pocket, everybody's on the edge of their seats.
He has composure while he runs. A big difference when you see a quarterback that's kind of hesitant or a little bit anxious because of the pressure. One thing as a defensive coordinator, I want to make sure that quarterback's head was rattled, even if we just got pressure to him. But when he gets there and he feels it, he knows when to step up, he knows when to slide out, and when he's reacting, he's still reading his keys, his level of receivers. Those passes, if you combine them all together, it's probably only about 5 yards of distance between all those players. But then he got hotter and he made a great connection in the end for that half.
He was looking for Quinn Speller on multiple routes early in the game. Underthrew one that was knocked away by Chifo, then the one that was intercepted by D'Onofrio. Then he overthrew him in the end zone when he was open. But finally, on that big 4th down play, he finds Speller in the end zone to bring Waterford within a touchdown. The composure of the senior quarterback, Nate Hines. Branford was the team that wanted to come in and be physical. I almost feel like they've scored a couple of touchdowns that are uncharacteristic of them. Those long touchdowns they scored, they want those drives where they could wear out Waterford, and I don't know that they've had the chance to really do that because Waterford's wearing them out on the other side of things.
It's true, and that also doesn't help the defense. I mean, if you have an offense that breaks away like that, and then that defense has to go back out again after a long series with Waterford, which Waterford's doing a very good job of just keeping the series going. I mean, think about it, 4th down and 9, and they go and they find a way to the end zone. They found a way to break that energy that Branford had on defense. And so, we got to see what happens in the second half. Is Branford going to re-energize and play, or is Waterford going to maintain this energy that they had coming into this half, and then now getting the ball, be able to continue to do what they like to do?
So you were both a player and a coach. Which one would you like to be right now, player or coach? I'm going to give you a choice.
I'll tell you, I wish I had the energy to play. Something about being on that field. When I played center, coach told me, he says, 2 things you got to be responsible. You're responsible for the biggest important key of that thing is a football. And at the same time, you're in the middle of everything. You're barking calls, and you're the guy that triggers everything. So to me, playing the game of football is something that I wish I could go back to. I know my body ain't the same like it used to be. Trust me, I'm about like 300 pounds off the mark.
You're a picture of health.
Yeah, a picture of health. But yeah, I would love to be on that field.
All right, so take yourself back to as a player. What's going through the players in the locker room right now? What are they doing in the locker room right now as players?
Gaining feedback. Things that they probably don't see. Coaches are right on them right now, keeping them hydrated. I loved when our coaches used to give us oranges, and we would have our line together, and Coach McNeil, Coach Cochran would be like sitting back, guys, keep the tempo going. This is what we're going to adjust to. We see this on the field, where at the first game of the season, we might not be able to really think about it, and then say, you're going to be fine, execute these plays, make sure that we make every play count. And so that's the confidence builder, resurging their energy, letting them know that they're doing fine. The bread and butter plays that Branford had are still there, and I think Waterford right now, if they keep, what I like, the pride of that offensive line, they're believing in Nate. They're holding their guys as best they can. So there's a tough, energy that I love in both sides of the team, both teams here that, they're fighting for this victory today.
Now take yourself back as Coach Pasta.
You got it.
And get yourself back into the locker room. What was your priority as a coach during halftime with your players?
Well, I get down with my guys and I find out what coach needed me to do. Was I'm going to be the energy guy or I'm going to be a guy to be informing our team. And so I was there doing the one-to-ones with individuals, the expectation there before the coach comes in and do the overall discussion. So I believe that in that situation, going into the huddle, let's say going in with Waterford, I would be, guys, you guys are doing well. We have to make sure that we don't make those little mistakes. We had a key fumble that we lost that gave up a touchdown. You take that away, guess what? We're going to be all right. If we continue to do our blocking and our pass blocking, we're going to be okay because we have a quarterback that's believing in him. So believe in that guy. He's riding it. Be on his shoulder and take it out, make it happen. That's what we want him to do.
I think something you said is very important, right? The communicate, right? So halftime is a whirlwind. You've got 15 minutes, but it's really like 8 because by the time you get there and back, it's like 8 minutes.
Yep.
You got to absorb all of this information coming at you. You have to physically get yourself, some guys need to be taped. Some guys need to be stretched. Some guys need to be hydrated, right? So you're trying to get all of these guys physically back while also giving them all of this information.
Yep.
I mean, not to be, too blunt, but some guys need to use the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you're trying, you're yelling over the stall while you're trying to, there's a lot of chaos in those locker rooms.
It's important to have coaching delegation. When I coached with both Jack and Jimmy, they were always organized what we needed to do at that time. So every coach was assigned to do something like taping, icing, reporting about injuries, things like that. The faster we communicated in that, the more the head coach was confident to go out in the second half and lead the team with all the call plays.
Well, we're almost back. Halftime clock.
How you doing?
Ticking down. Branford 21, Waterford 13. Waterford will get the ball to start the second half. They scored at the end of the first half to get within that one score.
Okay, guys? Love you.
Got a couple of young Lancers here. Coach Rob Summers sends them up. They're looking good in the Lancer blue, and they're in good hands with Coach Summers.
I had a great time coaching Coach Summers when he was at New London High School. He held great pride there. That's his son right there, and he's continuing the coaching tradition. That's one thing I do love about this game in this area is that you got levels that continue to come back and give. And for me to see Rob here doing the things that he's doing, and to see other coaches too in the area that are back in the game that I had a chance to be a part of, either coaching with them or actually being a coach alongside them. That's a good feeling.
This past Sunday, I was in the championship, the flight championship at Great Neck Country Club against Josh Cardoza, a Whaler graduate.
That's right.
Whose son Kyle is a former lacrosse and football standout at Waterford, who's now a coach on the sidelines here. He's coaching the Froshmore, and I had a long talk with him about football in Waterford, and what I really loved is the youth of some of these coaching staffs. Have a lot of the young guys who have graduated in the last 5 years or so, have wanted to come back and involve themselves. So you have this really nice balance between coaches who have been here for 30 years and these guys who have been here for 3 years, and you can see the energy that they feed off of each other, because some of these older guys, the veteran coaches, all they needed was that little boost by some of these young guys, and they're back at it again. And Waterford's got a really nice blend going on right now. I think head coach Zeth Nolda is absolutely the right guy for them, and I think Waterford's program is heading in the right direction. And this game, right now they're in a better spot than we thought here, getting the ball to start the second half. And let's see if we can get this thing competitive in the fourth quarter against such a good program like Branford.
Definitely.
Robinson to kick off. He hits a low line drive. It bounces and squibs, and then taken by Speller at the 15. Speller with speed. Speller gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, and heads past the 35-yard line. I'll tell you, Quinn Speller is electric with the football.
His special teams gameplay is so important right now. But I think he's down. We have a couple of Waterford Lancers that are right now hobbling along there.
On the ground, he's looking to get up. They're going to attend to him. So
Matt Yaguccioni looked like he was limping. He's jogging off the field right now. But, that key special team play right now for Speller, he's been effective. He's been getting the ball to the 30, 35-yard line right now. We have a timeout for the injury.
They're going to attend to Speller. And I'll tell you, of all the players other than Nate Hines that Waterford does not want to see, now this does appear to be cramping because they're going right to the stretch. But we don't speculate on injuries. All we know is that he's down there attending to his leg. But Speller is the difference maker right now on the offensive side. He's the guy that takes the top off of the defense. You have to respect him deep. He has been the player that they have had the hardest time keeping tabs on. So you certainly hope that he is up and back into this thing soon.
Well,
we're going to go to our out-of-town scoreboard right now.
All right, I'll come on and give you guys score updates as they come in. Jim Bunicore checking in from Ledyard. Colonels leading 8-0 over East Haven on a 55-yard TD run by your boy James Green.
James Green, the playmaker, as I call him. And let me tell you something about James Green. He is one of those kids who embraces the idea of the spotlight. He wants the ball. He wants to make a play. He's a great teammate. But that young man, when you see him I saw him at Dick's Sporting Goods the other day. He came right up to me, shook my hand, and wanted to talk about, he is not shying away from any aspect of football. And they got a good one over there. He's an all-state kid in the making. Ledyard with an 8-0 lead. And I always love week one when most of our teams are out of conference against other teams.
Right.
Let us see kind of where we fit.
Where do we fit
in
the
this
ECC?
alliance?
You're right.
You know. So this is a great example right here. And the good news is Speller walking off the field on his own power, and looks like it's just something minor.
Yeah, Branford, playing in the SEC division, there's some great teams over there. And so you always kind of think, oh, man, they're part of that league. They could take us out. Well, this is not the case tonight. Waterford is just definitely going blow for blow with them. And that shows that our conference is pretty good. We play well. I had a chance to talk to Stanley Green, Little Green's brother, and, he's just got that energy that's unbelievable. Wherever he goes, I saw him at Walmart, and he jumped from aisle 5 to aisle 2 real quick, catching it.
Opening drive for Waterford. Hines from the shotgun. First down handoff to Sutman, and not much there, maybe half a yard, and maybe even lost a half a yard depending on the spot. He was bumped back, and we'll see where he ends up as they attend to what looks to be a calf cramp.
Yeah, that was a great play by Ryan Jones, the defensive tackle right there, who stepped up and blew up the trap. That kick-out guy couldn't get around him. He squeezed in and made that play. So great defensive effort from the front line right there, destroying a trap play. Sometimes traps are not something that people talk about, but boy, do they give you a headache when you have a pulling guard, coming around and hitting you on the side of the head there with a block. So it was a great play by him.
So we're going to give him a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Waterford send trips receivers left. Now in motion is Derek Rivera. Hines to throw. Screen pass. Reception made. Tackle broken. And crossing the 40-yard line with the catch and reception is Brady Wenk. And that is going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and 9.
That's a great block by Rivera. When he motioned out, he had to take out the corner so the receiver can get the ball and work upfield. But the safety stepped up. He read that play really quick, knew that block was coming out, and he filled and made the tackle for a short gain.
3rd and long, big 3rd down here on their opening possession. Again, the training staff working on Quinn Speller, the junior wideout who has been so electric today. CJ cramp in the calf. We kind of expected that might be it. They're working that out right now. As Hines to throw in the flat and just behind Hightower, incomplete, and it'll be 4th down, and we'll expect Waterford to punt. Good news, bad news about cramps. As somebody who's experienced them back in high school as well, is the good news is it's quote unquote just a cramp.
Just a cramp.
The problem with cramp is that once they happen, they don't stop.
They happen all night.
Yes, and you can play through them until you can't, and then you can, and then you can't.
I could always say that after a big game when I played and I go home, I would try to lay down, and as soon as I turn into that baby curdling position, boom, cramps will be hitting all night long. And the biggest thing is about hydration. Even after this game, they're going to have to hydrate and get themselves back together. They're using a lot of fuel in their bodies for the first game, and things that they haven't used, like their energy, their ability to be pumped up to make plays. It catches up to you. Your tank tends to drop real quick.
Waterford looking to punt, standing back at his own 25-yard line is Florio. And we're going to get a penalty. I believe we're going to get a delay of game against Waterford and back them up 5 as they were trying to get personnel onto the field. But back to cramping, it's funny because it's almost like the first time you cramp after, say, half an hour.
Yep.
Then the next one comes after 20 minutes, and then it's 5 minutes and 3 minutes, and then it's nonstop.
Just like a tsunami. They come in
waves. Oh, it really does.
I can see right now as a tsunami, the coach on the sideline is not happy for Waterford because he knows that was a personnel situation, and a coach should have been responsible for that. When you have a player down, those guys need to look at the charts and see who's the next player to step up so a situation like that won't occur. Again, they lost 5 yards because of that.
Devin Powers downs the punt at the Branford 30-yard line, which is where they'll set up shop for their opening possession. So Branford's defense holds on the opening possession of the second half, and now their offense gets back on the field. And, now to flip it, right?
Yep.
Waterford had all that momentum going into the half, comes out in the second half, and their big play guy gets a cramp, has to leave the game. They go 3 and out. They turn it back over to Branford. Now Branford's thinking, this is our bread and butter. Now it's time for us to go 15 plays, right?
Exactly.
It's time for us to take our time and wear out this Waterford
Especially
team.
if one of your fastest players from Waterford is out of the game. Again, personnel is being adjusted, so there's movement around right now. Waterford has to put players in.
There's that handoff. Florio straight up the middle, and he's tripped up by DePerry after a gain of 2.
Yeah, Waterford right now is just like they look to see on the sidelines. They're just trying to get the communication back again. Coach was not happy that they had a delay of game penalty there. You know, again, that's personnel. You know, we were all assigned a responsibility for this game. You have to be on point. You can't be just lackadaisical. So you have to read what's the next step, who's the next player coming in, and have it ready so that coach can be prepared to make the call.
Alex Hightower for Waterford, number 7. I'll bring up that point in 1 minute after this play. Turbert, hands off. Florio, big hole, breaks to the outside and brought down as he crosses midfield.
That was a good, strong run, and I think right now that player is hurting.
And we're going to get a timeout on the field. And with that timeout, we're going to take a timeout and look at this timeout from the Burns Agency. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
We're back. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that is good begins with a smile. When you visit our office, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. 177 Boston Post Road, Waterford Dental Health. Of course, we're also very excited to have the Foxwoods Player of the Game. After the game is over, you're going to find us on social media at all our sites, Game Day CT, and we'll have your interview with the Foxwoods Player of the Game. Summer isn't over at Foxwoods. You can check out the great entertainment in September, including The Price is Right Live. For more details, visit foxwoods.com. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. So, still attending to an injured player on the far sideline. Waterford on defense after a first down run by Branford's Nate Florio. Branford will have it 1st and 10 at right about midfield. So, one of the balancing acts that I have to do during broadcasts is I get text messages throughout the entire game. And I have to just pay attention because often people from the community weigh in and say, hey, number 7 actually isn't so-and-so, it's so-and-so, right?
Right.
Okay, or, hey, no, he's not a junior, that's the brother, he's a senior, and I'll get things like that.
Yep.
Other times I'll get, that's the nephew of the kid, and I'll go, oh, that's so-and-so's nephew, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got a text from the other kinds of texts that I get, which is from mom down in Florida. Now, I'm used to getting texts from mom going, you look very handsome, you're doing such a great job. The text I got from mom was, oh, doesn't my son Pasta look so handsome? He's doing such a great job. He's talking intelligently with you about football. This is so interesting.
That makes me feel good, because one of the things I wanted to make sure was all of my families that are above me that have been part of my life, like Mama Brissette, I got to tell you, she was an inspiration. And without her, I don't think I would ever made those steps that I made going to college. But, that's a cute tidbit. And I want to say that you'll always look like you're the leading actor in this whole game. I'm just the sidekick right here.
I think she put a P.S. afterwards. You look good too, honey. Listen, my mom is my biggest fan, but she loves you too. And in her comment, is not lost that we are a very handsome group. The two of us, we are very good-looking group.
When we're termed like the Whaler guys back then, and we do the things that we need to do to represent ourselves and our family, those things that make them very proud. It just shines. And then, I just want to say that that's why, we are where we are today, is that we had people in front of us that taught us those little things that made us, professional outside. We could always have fun inside and do things that we had to do, but when we had to carry ourselves as educators, as parents, and delegated to our jobs, it shows that they were a part of that piece, So I'm very grateful. As you can see, the sunset does match the Waterford colors. It's a beautiful hue of blue and red. We're in the nightshade right now of this beautiful Friday night light game. We're hoping that athlete right now is recovering well. It seems like they're getting some medical attention to him right now, so hopefully he'll be taken care of and treated. But
while we have this timeout, I think what we're going to do is we're gonna send it away for a few moments while they're attending to the injured player on the field. We will interrupt whatever we're doing and bring you back as soon as action resumes. 9:18 in the third period, 21-13 Branford. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better first. Much better. So much better first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better first. You buy better first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
We're at Waterford High School. Waterford trailing 21-13 with 9:18 remaining in the third period. We have an injured player on the field that they're attending to right now, and while they are attending to the injured player, we're going to send it away for some interviews with our spring all-area athletes, and when the action resumes here at Waterford High School, we will break back in and bring you all of that action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
The first question I always have for anyone who plays lacrosse goalie, what is wrong with you? Or maybe a nicer way to ask that is
a lot of things.
Like, you have to be a little bit crazy to play that position.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, that was always the question. It's like, goalies are psycho. I would agree with that statement. There's always something wrong every goalie I've ever met. A little thing here or there is just different. When I first started, it was definitely more scary, but as I've gotten older, I don't think of it as something as that's, like, people are like, how do you, like, do that? It's so weird. How do you get hit with lacrosse balls? It's not that scary.
The first question I always have for anyone who plays lacrosse goalie, what is wrong with you? Or maybe a nicer way to ask that is
a lot of things.
Like, you have to be a little bit crazy to play that position.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, that was always the question. It's like, goalies are psycho. I would agree with that statement. There's always something wrong every goalie I've ever met. A little thing here or there is just different. When I first started, it was definitely more scary, but as I've gotten older, I don't think of it as something as that's, like, people are like, how do you, like, do that? It's so weird. How do you get hit with lacrosse balls? It's not that scary to me anymore. It's just something I've kind of learned to love. So
talk about that decision, like growing up, getting started in lacrosse. How did you come to the sport, and how did you come to the position?
So when I was 4, I had been doing karate already, and my dad wanted me to get into another sport. But at East Lyme, lacrosse started at 5. He brought me to the field because he knew the coach for instructional lacrosse and said, if you can tell he's the 4-year-old, I'll take him out. But if he doesn't, please let him stay. Because I was super antsy, always had a lot of energy, always outside doing stuff. So he just wanted me to, find another sport. And that was lacrosse. And then ever since then, I just kind of stayed with it. Throughout middle school, I'd play soccer in the spring too, but lacrosse was kind of always my main sport that I loved.
You mentioned that you grew up in East Lyme.
Yes.
So now you have seen the rivalry, the sports rivalry between East Lyme and Waterford from both sides. When did you move to Waterford, and kind of what's that experience been like? Because I assume you must still have friends in both towns.
Yeah, so I moved to Waterford kind of halfway through my freshman year. So if I had played soccer, which I was an avid soccer player, if I had played in the fall, I would have played for East Lyme. So I decided to stop playing soccer because I knew I would be playing lacrosse for Waterford. It was a weird transition because I didn't go to Waterford. I go to the Marine Science School in Groton. So I didn't really know any of the Waterford kids, but they all embraced me when I came my freshman year. But growing up, my sister was still a senior when I was a freshman, so she was still rooting for East Lyme because she still went there, but I was playing on Waterford. So I got to see both sides of the rivalry, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way because it ended up being fun.
All right, so you just won the big game. Where are you going out for dinner?
I was out for dinner, probably to get sushi, but my favorite place, which if they were open, Cafe NV Bakery.
So tell me what the future holds for you.
This fall, I'll be attending Colgate University in upstate New York, and I'll be playing men's lacrosse up there, so I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be studying economics and with a minor in pre-dental. That way, after college, I can hopefully go to business school or dental school and maybe become an orthodontist like my dad.
All right, so your dad, well-known orthodontist in town. How many times have you heard the Colgate joke?
Always. It was something I didn't think about when it first happened, and then someone said it, and I was like, haha. Like, now I hear it all the time. Oh, Colgate, toothpaste, like the dentist and your dad and your mom. So it's just a normal thing now.
What does it mean to you to be a Burroughs?
I think it means kind of like carrying a legacy, because my cousin, he's in the minors right now. Jared, he's at college right now, and then both my parents played baseball and softball. So I feel like being a Burroughs means like carrying on like the baseball softball tradition.
So looking back at a pretty amazing career, what are some of the things that stand out to you as far as good memories from a career at Waterford?
Definitely winning the ECC championship my junior year, because we hadn't won it, and I think it was like 12 years. And then to win it with like such a tight-knit group of girls, I think that was like one of the biggest things that stands out.
Talk a little bit about what you would like them to say about you when, 5 years down the road and they're talking about your time at Waterford. What do you hope is said about you?
I hope good sportsmanship is brought up, because that's always been like really important to me. Whether I'm playing like my biggest rival or like just like my friends, I always want to like keep a good sportsmanship over anything else.
So you grow up in a very competitive family.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the most competitive person in the Burroughs family?
Definitely my brother. Like, to me personally, I think I compete the most with my brother rather than like anyone else.
If you were hitting and he were pitching off of a baseball mound,
Mm-hmm.
could you get a hit?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never tried it.
If you were pitching and he were hitting on a softball mound, could he get a hit?
No.
Would you go screwball or would you go fastballs to him?
I definitely go screwball. He's never seen anything that like rises like that.
No, absolutely right. Absolutely right. So what's something about you that we don't know? Something that you love to do, or something that you're good at, or something that's just fun for you that we don't know about?
I like to catch frogs. That sounds a little weird, but
no, that's like one of the great. I did it when I was 8, but that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like my whole childhood. So like with some of my friends that I have from like back then, if we see frogs, we'll like pick them up and like make jokes about it and stuff like that.
Where's the go-to place to find frogs?
Honestly, Waterford Fitness, the gym.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot like around there in like the parking lot and stuff.
So go to work out, catch frogs while you're
Like
while you're
afterwards,
there.
like
Oh,
after
okay.
we work out and everything, and then we'll go outside to like our cars, and they'll be like in the parking lot.
Do you have any superstitions that you when you're playing softball?
Yeah. One of them, I have 2 different colored socks for my black uniforms. So the darker one always had to go on my right foot, and like the lighter one always had to be on the left. And then we can't cross the bats in the dugout, like on the fence.
Well,
That's
yeah.
like everything. Like never do that. And then I always hung my bag on the same hook at every home game.
How about pitching? Anything when you're on the mound?
Yes. So before every inning, I'll hold up like no outs to my center fielder, and I can't like stop doing that until she like does it back.
A generation of girl softball players are coming up through Waterford. They all want to be Maddie Burrows. What would you tell them so that they can be the best softball players they can be?
I think definitely training over the off season, stuff like that. For like skills wise, being the best softball player, definitely working and like putting all of your time and effort into it, because you can't just like get to where you want to be by just like wishing for it, you know.
We're live at Waterford High School, Casey O'Neill and Pasta Santabria, and it's 21-13. Branford on top with 9:18 remaining in the third period. Unfortunately, we have an injured Lancer on the field that they've been attending to for quite some time. They will be bringing him off the field. It's a lower body injury. It's nothing that involves upper body at all. It's a lower body injury, but the young man is being attended to. In the meantime, we are playing the best of some of our spring interviews with our athletes, and as soon as the action on the field resumes, we will break in and have all the rest of the action for you live on game day on theday.com.
Talk to me about what it was like to play for your dad.
High school didn't start it. Obviously, everyone plays for their dad in Little League. We always kind of took Little League a little more seriously than everybody else, just because, baseball is what we do. That's us. So it kind of just never stopped. It kind of just intensified as I got older. He fell in love with coaching me more, and he went for that job my 8th grade year. He got it, and I knew we were just right back to business for the next 4. So, I love it. I think he's one of the most knowledgeable people of the game that I've ever met. So, I couldn't think of a better coach that I'd even want.
Were you aware of how good a player he was?
Yeah. You can never talk about me without mentioning my dad, I think. So anybody who I talk to who's over, 25 years old they know how good he was. So I always hear it.
Looking back over this year and 4 years, what stands out to you as sort of the highlight of this year for you and sort of a highlight of your career?
This year's obviously that ECC championship. Losing it last year, we didn't have the best game. Losing by 1 run really hurt. Accolades, I don't, those don't mean too much to me. I'm a super team-oriented guy. I wanted to win that state championship more than anything. Couldn't get it done, but looking back at my last 4 years, I just hope I, left Fitch baseball better than I found it, and that's all I care about.
What's something about you that we don't know? Something that you're good at, something that you love, something that's not baseball related?
I hope to be a finance major. I'm going to school to do that, and I love stocks. I love dressing nice. I love talking to people. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm a big people guy. I love talking. I love just learning new things and just, getting out there.
What's the go-to meal pre-game or post-game for you?
We always go to Bridge Market. I get the Cutler Cougar over there. It's a chicken bacon ranch sandwich. That's my thing.
What did you get better at over your time at Fitch?
I think controlling emotion. Summer ball, you can kind of just, you only play for yourself. Once you get into a team-oriented sport where, sometimes I have to bunt, No one likes to bunt, but, that's where you learn that, you do stuff to help a team, and you do stuff for the sole purpose of, the squad of guys you're with.
What would you say to the Little League kids who are looking up and someday want to be you? What would you say to them?
You got a town behind you. Everybody in the town of Groton and Mystic, they love our baseball team, and, everybody's rooting for you. Maybe other towns aren't, but, you got your whole town behind you. So be ready for some good support.
What are you looking forward to most moving forward with baseball?
Higher levels. My goal is to just play until I can't anymore and just keep going up and up and up until, somebody tells me I can't.
10 swings. Who gets more out, you or Dad?
Dad still gets more out than I do. He'll be hitting. He hits some BP with us now. I can't compete with him. I probably get maybe 1 or 2 out on 10 swings. He probably gets 5 or 6, and they're way farther than mine.
I believe that there's moments that really change your life, and the talent show is definitely one of those moments.
I'm not alone in this world. Seems like everybody out there wants to have a chance to be
The talent show basically legit saved my life. I would have probably been in jail or probably be dead.
Put me back in my place, but I won't make it.
We're back at Waterford High School, where Waterford junior Derek Rivera was 10-2 and taken off the field. The early indication is a broken bone below the knee. He is being tended to, and we are back with 9:18. It'll be 1st and 10. Branford with the ball just around midfield, and a long break. That was probably a half an hour.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect both teams, right? Waterford has an injured teammate being headed out to an ambulance. Yeah. Branford slowed down. Let's see which team responds off a very emotional aspect of sports, which is the injured teammate on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Turbert, handoff. And good job by the center of the Waterford defensive line, clogging things up and holding Florio to a gain of perhaps 3.
You're so right. I mean, these kids actually had to warm up in like a second half mentality, and also, for the Lancers to deal with an emotion, to have one of their team players like Rivera, who was playing absolutely great tonight, to get injured. Now they're having some kind of energetic momentum here.
2nd and we'll call it 7. 8.5 minutes here in period number 3. Branford adjusting its formation, and Turbert yells to the line. He takes it from the shotgun. Handoff, Florio bounces it back inside, breaks a tackle, head forward. And it's little plays like that before he gets tackled. 3, now 4, now it's 3rd and 3, right? So just a little bit at a time.
What the coach did on that, he actually did what is called a trade. The tight end actually switched to the opposite side, which made him an ineligible player. But with the defense, they stayed in their same gap responsibility, left the gap open. And that's what's causing disruption. Unbalanced plays like that with just a formation can create a lot of problems for Waterford tonight.
3rd down and a long 3. Ball at the 44-yard line of Waterford. I formation for Branford. Turbert's under center. Fakes the pitch and hands off on the dive to the fullback, who has a 1st down. Cole Snyder with some tough running, and he breaks just enough for the 1st down, moves the chains, crosses the 40-yard line, and that's the most important part for Branford is 1st down, move the chains,
That's
clock
right.
goes.
This is what you were talking about. This is the bowl of soup that was making them the team that they are, is punching those yardages, causing the defense to kind of break down morally, and now it's showing that, they have some plays that they can effectively do to drive down this field right now at the 40-yard line.
1st and 10, clock now down, 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Branford looking to extend on its 8-point lead. Handoff inside, Florio breaks 1 tackle but can't escape the 2nd as Chandler Mativier there, and important that play because we've seen him break so many tackles, and he had a chance if he could have slipped there. He had good yardage in front of him, so that was a big tackle by Mativier.
Chandler did a good job reading that guard pulling, and that sometimes the linebacker reads reading guards, and what they do will dictate where they need to go. So when that guard pulled across, he definitely hit the gap and made sure that that gap was clogged up.
Sometimes just getting a body part on another body part is all it takes to disrupt a play, and Mativier did just that. 2nd and 10.5. Toss left to Lomoti, and he is hit in the backfield. Devin Powers was the first one to get there. Big loss. Waterford with a little bit of a run blitz, and they knew what was coming, and they got to it, and that's a big, big play for the Waterford defense.
Man, Devin Powers did not fake the funk on that one. He read it, and he wrapped his arms up Because the traditional rap that I heard from Coach Bunico used to always say, get those arms right through the body and make sure you secure it, especially on an outside perimeter play like that. He could have pushed him off, but guess what? Some lost downs in that play. That Waterford spirit is thriving right now. They are playing for their teammate.
3rd and 13, which is not a comfortable down and distance for Branford. You would think they're going to put the ball in the air. Let's see if Waterford dials up some pressure. Senior quarterback Zach Turbert from the pistol.
Looks like the defense is playing quarter coverage.
Hands off to Lamote. He's trying to get to the outside. Pursued, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Down the sideline, 1st down. Huge play, still in bounds, and they're going to whistle him out at the 20. But a 1st down, what an individual effort. Akil is for real.
That young man has a lot of heart, and the defense was there to make the play, but they did not wrap up on that side. And that way he just continued to run down the field using his hands and pushing. I mean, I didn't even see him touch the sideline there. The referee right there picked it up. I thought he was in the end zone.
That's a gut punch for the Waterford defense. They had him 3rd and 13. They had him at no gain. Breaks 2 tackles, and it looked like all the Waterford defenders were just trying to push him towards the sideline. No one wanted to step up and make a tackle, and now it's 1st down, Branford. Turbert. Handoff again to Lamote. Bounces to the outside. And a nice pursuit by Powers and wrestles him down after a gain of 3.
Again, Powers on that side can read it play, and he's very athletic. And we have a player down right now.
That's Powers. Cramp, he pops up. Right now, this is what we talked about. The night is getting cooler, but the earlier warmth of the day, the emotion of week 1, the going all out in your first real game of the year. Lots of players tired, lots of players cramping, lots of players just trying to find the energy and the resolve to make it through the end of this quarter and this game. 2nd and 7. Branford, ball at the 15-yard line. Inside trap, handoff. Big hole, bouncing to the outside, heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Cole Snyder, Branford.
Wow, that misdirection counter comeback play was beautiful. The Lancers thought he was running a sweep to the side, and then they just followed that pursuit, and they just completely forgot that wing back in there, and he got the ball, went to the end zone. You're right about the temperature, man. I mean, we're talking about Connecticut weather where it changes any day. We were thinking about 70 to 80 degrees when we got this started, and now we're probably now in the kind of the 60s. I feel like this hoodie is not, absorbed with sweat like I did before the first quarter.
Joseph Robinson in for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 4:22 remaining here in the 3rd period, Branford back to a 2-touchdown lead, 28-13. And you can see the versatility of a very basic offense, right? You run toss sweep, you run counter trap, and that time, that was a play that we hadn't seen yet, but that little bit of the showing of the toss sweep got the commitment necessary. Trap open on the other side.
Again, I think that star power energy that Akil did with those 2 great run plays, getting to the outside and forcing that 3rd and long situation to be broken away, that breaks the heart of a defense, And right now, what I like is I'm seeing the calls being played consistently by the coaches as opposed to just try this, try that. They have a game plan up there, and they're working on it. They know where to attack. Waterford right now has to gain that energy back. I know it's tough to lose a player like they had, but Powers is playing tremendously, and some of the players on the inside are playing well. It's just, you got to finish your plays.
Yeah, I mean, if Waterford, in a game where I think Waterford will feel, when they come off of this, regardless of the outcome, Coach Nolda is going to circle a handful of plays that there's times when you say, we got beat,
right,
and you got to fix it, and then there's other times where you say, we made the mistake, and multiple passes to Speller that were, either intercepted or incomplete. That right there is going to be on the defensive film.
Yes.
Play one. This right here can't happen.
Exactly.
This is about resolve. This is about toughness, tenacity. This can't happen.
Tackling. One of the biggest fundamentals in football. You have to treat it like a vitamin. You got to do it every day.
Robinson, little squib kick. It's heading to the sideline, and it'll go out of bounds, and Waterford will take the opportunity of the penalty and move into good field position.
This is their second one today with a kickoff.
Well, I think they saw the dynamic athletes that Waterford puts back there,
right?
And they didn't want any part of those, especially up 2 scores. They want Waterford to have to earn it up and down the field.
Yep, this is a big series for Waterford right now. They definitely have to show some kind of progress and give this defense a chance to recover. But again, I can't say that in high school football. When you have iron-type players that play both ways, you don't have that kind of chance. You just got to keep on playing with full energy.
So Waterford will have to replace Derek Rivera. And the good news is that Quinn Speller is back on the field for Waterford. He was cramping up earlier. He's back on the field. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go right up top to him on the first play. Hines drops, throws, and he was looking on an out pattern. Look, he was looking for Higgins, and miscommunication. It was tipped at the line, and now Speller is grabbing his hamstring and heading to the sidelines, and that is not good for the Lancers.
That's very tough. A hamstring cramping up is much more difficult than a calf. At least with a calf, you can massage it out. When it comes to hamstring, you got to do full stretches there. So it's been really difficult for him tonight.
And it could be the calf. It could still be the calf resonating up right now into the cramp.
He's definitely frustrated. He knows that he wants to be out there with his teammates, but right now he's just got to get himself together, drink some fluids, and get back in when he's ready.
Hines from the shotgun looks to throw, keeps it himself, heads up the middle, nothing there. Nice job, center of the line. And that's got to be our guy, Calvin Baycoat, who made the tackle. He has been active all night. He is a senior, he's a captain, and he's a menace on the line for Branford.
Definitely he's keeping that front line motivated. They're penetrating the gaps and reading their keys, and that was a perfect swarm for the Hornets in this play.
Huh, Hornets.
You like
swarm.
that? Yeah, I went to Del State. I was a Hornet too. You know that? Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Delaware State University.
I think I knew that.
I'll tell you the story about that one after this.
I knew you went there. I did know that. 3rd and 10. Call it 10.5. Hines, pressured, rolls right, looks, evades a tackler, breaks a tackle, heaves it, has a man, and it's not going to get there. Oh, he underthrew Noah Westkoff. It was a difficult throw, but Westkoff was behind everybody.
Wow.
Hines just couldn't get it there with all the pressure, and it falls incomplete.
Definitely a broken coverage there by the corner. He actually started looking at the quarterback and trotting while the receiver was just running downfield. If he would have gunned it a little bit more depth, that would have been a great play and a good turnaround for the Lancers.
So 4th down, and Waterford will punt. Sutman will kick it away from his own 20-yard line. And we're going to get a penalty as well against Waterford.
Probably a lineman downfield.
Illegal man downfield, which we praised Waterford earlier, but that's so hard for a lineman to stay home when you're positive. That's why you got to listen to your quarterback and whatever your signal is.
Yeah, there is a go call there, but it's difficult in a game like this.
High snap, handled well. Kick is a line drive that bounces at the 45 and takes a Branford bounce and will go right at the Branford 45-yard line. So good field position for the Hornets, 28-13 with 3:19 remaining here in period number 3.
Well, a little bit of history of how I got to Delaware State was one of my old colleagues. Actually graduated in 1984, I believe. Raymond Knott, who played with Mr. Bunicor, drove me down there. When he pointed, he said, "You see this big stadium to the left?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's where we play our games. You see to the right? That's where our practice field is." Lo and behold, he was pointing to Dover Down Speedway. And I went to the coach, and I went to his office and said, "Coach, can I play for your program?" He said, "Great." I got to the team, and then when I told him to play, he said, we don't play at that racetrack. We play over here.
Good selling by Mr. Knott.
Yeah.
1st down, Branford. Ball at their own 45-yard line. Handoff, Florio. About 3 yards before Spera brings him down, gain of 3.
The Branford ground and pound offense right now is establishing themselves and building this identity. Again, week 1, what are you going to be? Branford right now is showing that they're going to continue to do what they did before. But again, we have a player down with another cramp.
And it's just Florio on the field, and he's out right now down on the floor on the ground, and the coaching staff will attend to him. Week 1, this is going to happen. 3 minutes to go here in period number 3, 28-13. Branford is on top. We should let you know that Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that is good begins with a smile, and when you go to Waterford Dental Health, your smile is their top priority. They're going to give you personalized and gentle care. They're going to do everything they can to make that smile the brightest it can be. Contact them at waterforddentalhealth.com, 177 Boston Post Road in Waterford. After the game, of course, go on all of our social media platforms at Game Day CT. Find our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. Summer is not over at Foxwoods. Great entertainment in September, including The Price is Right Live. Go to foxwoods.com for all the details around the summer fun in September at Foxwoods.
Looks like Nathan standing up right now was a cramp, and he's jogging off. You know, at this time probably they're going to give the ball to Akil, because I know he was doing phenomenal last series. And right now with, you know, Florio being out, he seems to be the prime pair in the backfield right now.
Yep, they'll mix it up between Snyder and Lamoti, and those guys have both had success on the ground. Of course, Snyder with the last touchdown, and Lamoti with the back-breaking 15-yard run.
Oh, boy.
2nd and 8. Ball is at the 47-yard line of Branford. Handoff, Lamoti off tackle, breaks to the outside, now cuts it up the hash, has speed to the sideline. Landry chasing him, won't get him. Touchdown, Hornets. Akil Lamoti, and he is gone.
He's also down. I think when he got into the end zone, he cramped up real quick and fell down. Man, what a great run play by him. I tell you, he cut to the outside, and he just turned the Jets.
To be clear, the leading rusher coming into this game was Branford's returning Nate Chifo, an 800-yard rusher from a year ago.
Right.
He's out in the first series. 3 touchdowns instead for Nate Florio, his replacement. He's out with a cramp.
Yep.
Cole Schneider rips off a 30-yard touchdown. And Akil Lamoti, he's rushing down the sidelines for a touchdown. Branford just bringing guys and guys.
Talk about depth in the running back field, I tell you. That's impressive that coach can go and rely on those kind of players and make plays. Again, he broke to the outside and he took off. And then when he got to the end zone, he grabbed both those calves and he just fell down. So we're hoping it's just, again, these calf injuries in regards to cramping has been a big deal today. This is the longest third quarter I've ever been a part of as a coach and a player and an announcer, if I'm not mistaken. That's a trifecta.
35-13, 34-13 with 2:30 remaining here in the period. And he is just definitely cramping up, and active cramps, because they are painful and you can see him struggling. At the same time, we've got Devin Powers being helped off of the field for Waterford. He's coming off under his own power, but he is also a little banged up, and he would, I think, cramping up a little bit himself. So, and right now, you know, the Lancer Nation in the full blackout, and they got to be proud about what they've seen, because Waterford's hanging in there. But right now, Waterford, you know, you've had Speller out; he's lost, injuries. You've got Rivera, who had to leave the game hurt. You know, Waterford is losing people left and right. So is Branford. It's like a war of attrition out there right now.
Yeah.
But Branford, 34-13 with the lead, kicking the extra point.
Definitely the score doesn't tell the heart that both teams had. They're just coming out full blast and playing very physical. It's a very entertaining game. Definitely showing that these guys are going all out.
Extra point by Robinson is up, and it's good. And it'll be 35-13 with 2:30 remaining here in the third period. Waterford will have its next possession, and really Branford has decided, what you've seen the changes. They're sending but they're keeping the ends and not letting Hines get outside the end. So they're widening out and pinching in on their as they crash.
I think that the defensive coordinator is confident that the inside run game for Waterford is not as strong as they expected. And to contain them is the biggest important thing. So they're doing some slow play rushing. I noticed that off the edge, they're reading it. They're making sure that he has the ball. Then they're going to the ball. So even though the defense is kind of slow reacting, it's better for a quarterback that, like, the way he plays is very elusive. You definitely have to neutralize it with some good slow tempo, key reading defense. And he didn't have to bring too much pressure. Those 4 down linemen are doing a pretty good job. I think the young man from, let's see, number 50, I believe his name is Dylan Warner. He's the linebacker there. He's been really leading that defense pretty good, making some tackles.
So what a difference a couple of series makes. Now back to receive for Waterford, Hightower, along with Westcott and Sutman, meaning both Speller and Rivera, two of the return guys who we had seen, not out there at the moment.
There was a correction on the player. It's actually number 45. That's the young man, Calvin Bacote. That's the one that's doing a great linebacker play there.
Yeah, Bacote is a stud, senior captain.
Yeah, definitely.
Sutman takes the kickoff and bounces it outside and crosses to the 40-yard line. So it's a nice return by Brady Sutton.
I'd say the kickoff team is doing receiving team is doing a great job getting good field position.
So Hines will trot back out and see what they can make of it here. They had it down to 1 score going into halftime. They had the opening kickoff and couldn't do much with it. And since then, Branford's tacked on 2 touchdowns. See if Waterford can get a little bit of that mojo back here on their possession with 2:30 or 2:23 remaining in the third period. Hines from the shotgun, motion man, and he fakes the handoff. Hines keeps it himself, and he'll be knocked to the ground after a gain of maybe a yard. Big hit that time, Greg Keeley for
Keeley
Branford.
Did a pretty good job reading his key and filling that gap for such an elusive player like Hines.
2nd and 9.
Seems like Waterford's picking up the tempo with no huddle.
Motion man is Westcott. This time designed to roll out. Hines forced back to the middle, and he is buried. Big hit, and Hines buried right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, but looks like the defensive player that laid out the hit took the worst of it, and that's Bako. So he'll come off the field limping a little bit as he laid a licking on Hines, but the quarterback bounced up, and the linebacker's limping off the field.
I tell you, he must be built out of adamantium that day, Hines, because he is just taking licks, stands up. You know, I've always thought about how you could really defeat a player just by getting back up and going to the next play and just get that mental game in there. Hines is the kind of quarterback that can really hurt defenses mentally with the way he just gets back up and goes to the next play.
3rd and 8, minute and a half remaining here in period number 3. Big play for Waterford. Can they keep the chains moving? 3rd and 8. Hines rolls right, steps inside the pressure, looking for a man, throws, and it's incomplete, knocked down. Good defensive play. 14, Brian Page for Branford knocks it down, and that'll bring up 4th down, and we'll see what the Lancers want to do here. With a whole quarter of football left, they're probably going to punt this one away.
Yeah, it was a tough series. You know, they made a little mistake there, and again, the call playing is just trying to find a way to get yardage. Right now, this defense is really just staying and playing good, sound football and dominating the line of scrimmage, which is the biggest thing right now. That front four right now is holding the ground.
Sutton to punt it away for Waterford, standing at his own 25, and Florio standing back at his own 30, awaiting it. High kick comes down, fair catch at the 35-yard line, and Branford will take over with its possession with 1:07 remaining in period number 3. We have a score from Ledyard.
So Ledyard now leading East Haven 22-6 on a TD pass from Jackson Polton to Jackson Barboza and a touchdown run by Jacob Lands.
All familiar names over there for the Colonels, and a good start for them as they look to build on what was a good year last year. Some transfers, some new faces, and they're looking to continue that success. Colonel's off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, I like that Jackson Polton kid. He's got a lot of potential.
1st down. Handoff, Florio, and he is wrestled to the ground for a loss by the Lancers, and we now are under a minute.
Yeah, that's a great job from the right side of the Lancers. They read that really quick, and they got to a pursuit that really caused him to just, settle down and not penetrate downfield. If you stop him from gaining that first 2-3 yards where he's going to build speed, he could be tackled. It's when you get him full speed downhill is where it's going to be difficult.
40 seconds remaining here in period number 3, 35-13. Branford on top of Waterford with a 2nd and 10 for Branford. Turbert from the pistol. Gives it to Florio, straight up the middle, and he's knocked to the ground by Will Rivers after a gain of 3 or 4. It'll bring up 3rd, and we'll call it 6.5 as the clock ticks down to what appears to be the end of the 3rd period. 5 seconds remaining, and it will tick off. So as we come to the end of period number 3 here at Waterford High School, 35-13, Branford on top. Fourth quarter action coming up. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first.
3rd and 7 for Branford. Handoff. Bouncing back inside. Not much there, and Lamoti will be stopped at the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up 4th down. It looks like the Waterford defense has held here to start the 4th quarter and might receive a punt from Branford, something we haven't seen from Branford in quite a while. So the Lancer defense does its job, and Florio will come in to punt it away.
I'm definitely excited that Waterford's not giving up anything. They're fighting for every inch, and that defensive series right there was a plus for them. Hopefully this will give them field position too. You never know.
If you're just joining us now, the game was delayed for a period of time as Waterford's Derek Rivera had to be carted off the field with a lower leg injury. We were told broken bone below the knee. We wish him all the best, and we hope he has a speedy recovery. Early in the game, Nate Chifo, the leading rusher for Branford, went out with an ankle injury, and it has been all Branford. Bad snap, and Florio tucks it himself, and he is going to be wrestled down well short of the 1st down. So Waterford takes advantage on specials and gives their offense really good field position, and it'll be at the Branford 38-yard line.
I'll tell you, special teams is the 3rd phase, and it's supposed to be important for a reason. Things like that. If that bad snap causes right now the whole field position to change to plus 50 just because of that. Florio he had a chance to kick it, but I think he didn't have the cognitive understanding about what he wanted to do. He just grabbed the ball, tucked it, and started to run. So this is a great opportunity for Waterford right now with great field position here.
35-13, Branford on top. Waterford good field position at the Branford 36-yard line. Casey O'Neill along with Pasta Santabria, and we're here bringing you our opening night of Game Day here from Waterford High School as the Lancers with the ball. Hines deep down the sideline, puts it in the air, ball is up and it's incomplete, but we've got a flag. He was looking for Wentz and it was incomplete, and it will be a flag. Pass interference will go against Brian Page, who we saw make a nice play earlier, knocking a ball down. A little too aggressive that time, penalty against Branford.
Yeah, we always teach our D-backs to make sure you can have hand placement, feeling the hip of the player while you're running with them. But in that instance, I think he lost the sight of it, thought the ball was going to be there, and he actually grabbed his jersey. So there's the holding there, causing the penalty to be thrown.
So that's a 10-yard penalty and a 1st down. Waterford will move the chains, and the ball will be spotted inside the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Definitely a crucial series here for Waterford. They need to punch this in.
Hines. Handoff. Sutman, and he is thrown to the ground with authority. Ryan Jones slamming Sutman to the ground.
That was an authoritative move right there, boy. He wrapped up and put him down real quick.
That looked a little Hulk Hogan-like.
Yeah. We call that a 2-point takedown in wrestling.
Oh, you're going to go real wrestling. I was talking about.
Well, you know, Hulkamania runs wild every day. You could add that into the mix.
Well, taking those vitamins along with saying your prayers. Hines rolls. This is where he's dangerous. Looking upfield, sees a man, throws back in the end zone. Touchdown! Lancers! What a play by Nate Hines!
Unbelievable rollout, confidence, footwork, throwing and precision between 2 defensive players. Wow, great job.
And a great catch in the back of the end zone. Touchdown Lancers. They cut it 35-19. Beautiful play, and the emotion here for Lancer Nation is hot. They love what they're seeing.
We said 57 rides. We're going to have to add the numbers up because that was a great play by Nate Hines. He got out of with a containment and just kept on rolling out with just really relaxed footwork. You know, we always see the stuttering of quarterbacks trying to force a throw. He just kept his composure, followed through with a throw, a perfect, nice diamond throw to the receiver.
That extra point should be good. Should be worth 5 right there. That thing
definitely
was hammered. Extra point is good. 35-20 with 10:14 remaining here in the fourth period. Waterford showing to be dangerous. Hines, when he's out of the pocket, head up, is at his most dangerous, and what a dime he threw there.
It ain't over till there's 3 zeros on the clock, and right now Waterford, I love their energy. I was expecting different. I was expecting, hey, we're going to just be the same team last year. They're not. They're actually fighting. They're really competing, and it's led by number 1.
So Branford, who had to punt on their last series, uncharacteristic, will get the ball back, and you know, they're up 2 scores, but a lot of time remaining here with 10 minutes. This is where their seniors need to step up and put together a drive, move the chains, and get things going for them.
They got to let that the botch snap go, you know, and refocus and know that they have plays that they can execute against this Waterford defense. So again, it's just keep your composure, stay strong. There's a lot of things going on with the coaches on the sideline right now. It's really electrifying. Not a lot of people can see that, but the communication level from both sides is really intense. And I see that Branford is just trying to stay focused on what they got. Boy, there's a lot of players really getting beat up on tonight's game, but you know what? The resiliency is showing for both teams.
10:14 remaining here in the ballgame. 35-20. Branford on top. They're going to receive the kickoff from Waterford. The crowd here at Waterford is getting into it. They're feeling the energy.
I tell you, the stand's kind of rumbling, but thank God we got the secured belts here, so we're good to go.
Yonk Fabre ready to kick it off.
Yes, big Yonk.
And a little bit of an onside, and it's nicely handled by the frontline hands team of Branford. It was Cooper Barnes, the senior, who grabbed it astutely, went right to the ground, and Branford will have it right about midfield.
That's a very smart play. You got the ball on the 50-yard line right now, and now just go back to that classic football swagger that they've been playing with right now, just pounding it and see if they can continue to break first downs with it. Again, now Waterford does have a chance to really do something well with their defense. They've been playing well. They've been rallying to the ball, trying to see if they can get another turnover or an opportunity to get another punt here.
Turbert operating from the pistol. He's got Florio to his left. Handoff, Florio. Cuts it back against the defense, and he's driving forward, riding forward. Ugachoni had both arms on him, but Florio moves the pile forward for a gain of almost 5 on first down.
That young kid's legs was churning like the little bird from a Roadrunner there. He just kept on pedaling his feet, which always gets momentum. When you're tackling, you have to run your feet. And you see Waterford there just wrapped up. They didn't keep their feet moving, and that's why you have young Nathan here, Florio, gaining those yardages down there.
2nd and 6. We're under 10 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Waterford needs a stop as they trail 35-20. I formation. Turbert under center. Toss right. Florio evades one tackler, and he's brought down from behind by Fabre, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5, maybe 6. Nice pursuit by the Lancers.
It was a good blitz on the outside, and he made sure that sweep cut back in. And with a sweep, you want to get to the pylon in the outside. That didn't happen, and the Waterford Lancers surrounded that player and made that tackle. Again, this is the situation Waterford wants. 3rd and longs. This is not good for Bradford. They really need to get themselves together. Hopefully a play right now we're expecting is definitely going to be a pass play because right now they need to get that first down.
I humbly disagree. I do not believe they will put the ball in the air here. 2-touchdown lead. I think you're going to see a toss sweep.
All right, we're going to bet a plate of spaghetti on this one.
3rd and 6. Off tackle, handoff, straight up the middle, close to the sticks.
Well,
I would like to say that I was close with a running play. That was
good. That was a saucy move right there. I like that.
Yeah, Cole Snyder with the carry for Branford. And they're going to go 4th and a foot here, right up to the line. They're going to go for it. And they go right back. It's going to be close. I'm not sure he got there. They went back to Snyder again.
I'll tell you right now, those coaches are pointing away. It might be short, and the judge on the opposite side, it looks like he's inside that pylon of the chain marker. They might have to check it out because it looks very close. Let's see what happens.
Waterford thinks he stopped him, and they're saying first down Lancers. The Waterford defense held after they went back-to-back to Cole Snyder.
That's what's up,
and
resiliency.
What a big stand for the Waterford defense. Back-to-back runs by Snyder, and he couldn't get a foot on fourth down, and all of a sudden, Waterford has it 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line with 8 minutes remaining here in the ballgame.
That's right. Bend but don't break. It's unbelievable. I think they're short a player right now. Coach has to call a timeout.
And they're going to call a timeout. It's a tough timeout for Waterford to call, but they are going to call it. And we are going to take this opportunity for a Burns Agency timeout. You're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better at Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price.
First down, Waterford. Hines from the shotgun. Quarterback keeper bounces off a tackler, bounces to the outside and heads out of bounds after a gain of 4. Crossing the 45-yard line is Nate Hines.
I believe
second down.
That's the first run that he actually went to the sidelines for a play. You know, he didn't run downfield, so he's playing conservative. He's being smart right now, knowing that they have an opportunity to get over the hump here.
Second down, Waterford. 7 yards to go. Hines from the shotgun. Has time, zips it, and it's off the hands of Jax Higgins at the 40-yard line. Would have been a first down, but off the hands, and Higgins, the sure-handed receiver, couldn't bring it in.
Another kudos to the offensive line there. They did a great job in pass protection and allowed Nate to stay right in the pocket. And, you know, if he would have caught that, that would have been a great play. But these offensive linemen, they're really fighting here. They're really putting it down.
Third down, Hines has time. Deep down the sideline for Landry, and he couldn't make the play over the top of Page. Trying to go up top to the big sophomore Landry, but he couldn't bring it in, and now it's going to be 4th down and 7. You know, since we've seen Quinn Speller out of the game with some cramping, and we lost Derek Rivera to the injury, a whole new set of Lancers having to step up. You saw Brady Wentz with the touchdown catch, C.J. Landry now in the pattern, and they're heading out left along with Noah Westcott. So
the empty backfield right now. They played it before.
4th and 7. Hines, pressure, quarterback keeper, breaks a tackle, but I don't think he's going to get there because a brilliant tackle by Greg Keeley, and that was a one-on-one, and he stopped Hines short.
Yes, he did. A great play. Actually, it was like a little ankle breaker right there because if he would have taken off, he had plenty of real estate to gain more yards on that play. That empty backfield is really tough to defend. When you're looking at it as a defensive coach, you definitely have to make sure you cover all your receivers, and then you got to find out which linebacker is going to be out there to cover a receiver and which linebacker you're going to have inside the pocket. They had the right one inside to make the right tackle.
I don't think anybody on a one-on-one drill in open field would pick Hines to get hit and go down. I mean, that's not only do you have to make the hit and make the tackle, but he got stopped dead, and that is so unusual.
He just flashed right through the line. We thought we were going to get real estate, but then again, a great play by that young man in Branford.
7:42, Branford takes over right around midfield, I formation. Handoff off tackle. Florio, big hole, and he is gone.
What a play.
Nate Florio with his 4th touchdown on the night. 4 for number 4, and Waterford is stunned.
Again, that traditional off-tackle play. He found a way to get right to that gap, and he hit it full speed. If you don't stop that young man in the first 2 or 3 steps and cause him to stutter, he goes downfield full speed, it's going to be hard to tackle. A great play by Branford again.
The Hornets, they do know how to respond and take the wind out of the sails. Robinson in for the extra point. He's been perfect tonight, looking to go 6 for 6. And he does. Extra point is good. 42-20. Branford. That's 228 yards for Nathan Florio tonight. Wow, 4 touchdowns. What an effort in the place of the senior Nate Chifo, who was injured on the first series of the game.
Way to step it up for the team. That's a great job by just the team overall, and the coaches making those adjustments. You know, I mean, Waterford still has a chance. There's plenty of time here to score. You just got to continue to fight. This is a great learning experience right now for Waterford. And like I said, it's not over yet. They can still find a way to get some points on the board. They will. Okay, so you're right. This ground and pound offense is really showing now that traditional Branford playoff program that they had last year. You know, for the first game, and they're clicking and they're focusing. I think that this is going to be their bread and butter throughout the year.
And then on the other side of things, this is what Waterford, there's the 2 sides of the coin that you want to look at, right? You're going to say, you know what? We moved the football. We have an electric quarterback. We have a lot of good skill guys.
Yep.
Our defense showed signs of being a cohesive unit. We broke down on a couple of plays that gave up. So Waterford's got that side of the coin.
Yep.
The flip side of the coin is, are we just going to be the team that scores on a big play and gives up a big play?
Right.
And are we just going to be the team that, you know, loses these shootouts
Yeah.
because we can't have a consistent effort on both sides of the ball? That's you know, you want to coach away from that. I think Waterford could certainly look at this as the former rather than the latter. And we're going to Uguccione trying to get outside. He's not going to get there, but Waterford will take over. I think defensively, Waterford should feel pretty good.
Yeah.
They gave up 3 big plays, all to Florio, and then 1 backbreaker. That's the one play, like I said, first play on the play sheet, circle it, the big run on 4th down by Lamoti to go for it.
Right.
Other than that, I feel like they've played pretty solid with the exception of just a couple of big plays.
Definitely stuff that you can see on film that's going to be very productive. And like I said, they did still build an identity of who they are. They're going to be a resilient team, bent but don't break. They had a great defensive series, against them, to make sure that they can get the ball back. So, there's nothing wrong with what's going on. It's just tough that the scoreboard's showing a different light. These teams are both playing hard.
First down, Lancers, ball at their own 32-yard line. Hines, quarterback keeper, breaks a tackle and ridden down after a gain of 2. And, down 22 points. I don't know how many quarterback keepers I want Nate Hines absorbing here in the last 7 minutes of this football game.
It's tough, but he does have that Rocky Balboa mentality. I love that kid right now, what he's doing. He's still got that intensity. He's focused. He's getting the line ready. Still playing hard.
Hines to throw, pressured weak side, and sacked. Brought down from behind, weak side. Drew Schwartz got to him and brought Hines down, and it'll bring it back to 3rd and 10 as we're down to about 6.5 minutes remaining here in the ballgame.
That was definitely a good coverage sack. The linebackers went to their respective spots. They really jammed the receivers. The receivers weren't that aggressive, trying to find an open spot, so it made it difficult for Nate to throw the ball.
3rd down and 10. Hines has time, zips over the middle, complete. Crossing midfield is Jax Higgins. First down, Lancers. A more traditional pocket throw that time from Hines.
And boy, did he gun it 30 yards like that. It was beautiful. It was a good spiral. He does have a lot of confidence in that play, and it gives Waterford a first down.
Lancers now in Hornets territory at the 49-yard line. Hines to throw again. Steps up. Has a man. Deep it goes for Wentz. Wentz turns, and he can't catch it. He turned inside, throw went to the outside shoulder, never quite could adjust.
Yeah, that's tough because when the ball's coming in the air, we know that kids practice throughout the week with daylight. You know, we don't know if they ever had time at night. And something like that with a ball coming and lights everywhere, you got to understand it's all about practice. You know you're going to throw that ball on the outside shoulder, then work your way to the outside shoulder. So these are things that could be practiced on and get better.
Second down. Hines to throw again. Pressured. Rolls right. Throws on the run and incomplete. As he was at the feet of Wentz, it'll bring up third down. 5:53 remaining here in the ball game. 42-20. Branford on top.
This is definitely a big series for Waterford. They need to get some kind of points at this series in order to get a chance to be, competitive for the game. But again, you talk about what we're seeing here is a very well-developed team that last year didn't have that, over the edge or over the top mentality. I think they're going to be doing very well in the league. They're going to definitely win some games.
Hines stands at his own 45-yard line. Steps into the throw. Heaves it down the sideline. Has him in. And it's incomplete. He was going for Landry. And I think D'Onofrio just got a pinky on it and knocked it away.
Yeah, he did tip it. It was off the hands. Great play. But again, what ball touch from him to throw the deep ball is really good. I just think, overall, the offense could find a way to get openings inside the lane, let them throw bullets, let them make quick catches. This could help the offense march down the field. They're really working towards the deep throw. And again, Branford's going to play that. They're going to cover it.
I think we've gotten spoiled. The idea, Nate Hines just threw that ball 55 yards in the air on a dime. I think we've gotten spoiled. High school quarterbacks aren't, it's not a given that you can do that. Hines pressured, steps up, throws it out to Hightower. Hightower makes the catch, crosses the 40, first down, ridden out of bounds. But another improvisational play from Hines. I think it was actually a lateral, as it turns out, to Hightower, but he got a first down.
It's amazing. You see how he did it? He saw the change, took the step, pulled back, and pumped it across to a wide open Southern. It was unbelievable. This kid's going to be really recognized in the league.
First down, Waterford. Hines, quarterback keeper, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, spins, and we're going to get a flag coming in. Tackle was made by Keeley. Keeley has definitely got Hines' number when it comes to open field tackles.
Tomorrow, these guys are going to be aching. Thank God for the extra Saturday day, Imagine if they had to go back to school the next day feeling this way. They're going to be banged up. And I'll tell you, both these teams have been playing really hard tonight.
Penalty against the Lancers is going to back them up, so it'll be first down and 20. Ball backed up all the way to the 38-yard line. Clock ticking under 5.5 minutes remaining.
Fans are really still involved. Look at the blackout. They're still standing where they started. It's unbelievable how this fan base is unbelievable here tonight. Really enjoying Friday night football.
Hines has time. Throws across, incomplete. I think he lost his footing as he planted, and you could see him disappointed, but he was planting his foot, slipped a little bit, ball came out funny, incomplete.
Yeah, must be a little ant out there that tripped on his laces there, because he's been phenomenal with his footwork tonight, and that was the only time he actually just slipped off his feet and still try to make a throw in the inside. Imagine that. Definitely he's got good instincts. I'm just seeing something that we know down the road. We're going to hear his name a lot this year.
Second and 15. Motion man, Hines. Jet sweep, outside it goes to Westcott. Nothing there. Westcott cuts it back, and he is not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose 2. That's going to bring up 3rd and 20. Ball all the way back at the 40-yard line, and we're under 5 minutes remaining in the ballgame.
Definitely tackled by a swarm of Hornets there today. 28 was the guy that made the play.
Barnacow made a big hit for the tackle. Now we got 3rd and 20 for Waterford. Hines from the shotgun. Over the middle, has a man, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. Branford's Lamoti intercepts it, crosses the 32, and the Hornets will take over, and that is probably the final straw here. Waterford down 3 touchdowns, turning it over Branford will take over at their own 30-yard line. One of the few bad visions of the night.
That was it, one of the few. Couple little things that cost them. I mean, when they go and watch film, I hope these coaches can understand, and they will, that, first game jitters, things like that are accountable. They could see a lot of the positive that come out of it, and that's the thing. Go back to the drawing board. But there's an identity. That's the one thing I always say about the game of football. If they could build an identity of who they are and what they want to work on, they can work through that. And Lancers have a chance to do so.
Branford are out of the eye on first down from the 32. Handoff, Florio, and a strong run. Nathan Florio with 4 on first down, and the clock will be under 4 minutes when they take the second down snap. This is where Branford will milk clock.
Yes, sir.
And just take their time.
Yeah, the ground and pound does this, and this is something that I know that they've practiced for so many years. You got the back judge that's responsible for the clock, and when he gets that hand up, that lets them know that there's 5 seconds left. So as they get on the ball, if they do this correctly, they just sit back and wait. Quarterback's relaxed, starts to see the hand come up, and they can call the play. Or coach can just keep it the way they've been doing it successfully, just calling it and running it.
There's the hand. They're going to go right back to the same play. You're not going to see anything different. Maybe a fullback dive.
Classic fullback dive, my friend. Can't beat those.
That'll gain maybe a yard as the ball goes to Snyder, Cole Snyder, who's had a good game from the fullback position. That'll bring up 3rd and short. And again, the clock will be under 3 minutes by the time this play goes off. And if they get a first down on this drive, you'll see them just run the ball until the game is over. And just now, for the first time, we're starting to see a little leak out of Lancer Nation. They have been absolutely fabulous. Over 1,000 strong tonight here at Waterford High School.
It was packed. I mean, we're surrounded by families right here in front of us that have been stomping their feet. They've maintained that energy. There's a lot of passion that I think these kids should be very proud of. The family here in the Waterford community is ready to play and watch football and all sports here that they have.
3rd down run by Florio will move the chains. First down as he crosses the 45-yard line. Killingly 48-0 over Montville. Tough way to open the season for Montville after a season last year with no wins. They got to go up against the state champion Killingly high school team. Killingly, of course, with one of the great players in the state, Soren Reef, brought back a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, and Coach Chad Neal and Killingly off to a good start here as they beat Montville 48-0.
Yeah.
Stonington loses 40-14 to Notre Dame. It's a tough matchup for the Bears out of the gate, and Notre Dame on the board there. First down, handoff. Florio bounces it and wisely stays in bounds. He'll take the loss of yards, but the clock now ticking under 2 minutes to go in the ballgame. NFA losing to Wilton 17-14 in the 3rd period. NFA, who might have to take a connecting flight to get back from Wilton.
Boy, we'll see if those tickets are available.
That's a long way away for NFA, and staying in it, I think they are the team with the most question marks this year. I think we know Killingly's going to be great.
Yeah, they're the powerhouse right now.
And when everyone wants to say who's the next team, whether it's Fitch, New London, NFA, like finding that second team.
Yeah.
I think NFA, we always look there first, and that'll be an interesting squad. We may see them a couple times here in the next few weeks. It'll be 2nd down and 12, clock down to almost a minute. Turbert will do the fullback dive. Snyder
There's a fumble.
Loses the
There's
ball, and I think it bounced right back to him. We'll find out if Snyder held on to it. I think he did.
Yep.
I think the ball hit the turf, bounced right back into Snyder's hands.
What a lucky move right there.
We will see NFA next week. We'll be at NFA.
Really?
Yes, we will, where we will
right.
see the matchup between the best team in the ECC, the defending state champion, Killingly High School. Let's find out next week how good NFA is.
Let's put the garlic bread in the oven right now, because next week we're going to have a bowl of pasta and sauce that's going to bring some action there. That's going to be a great game. I'm really motivated for that one.
35 seconds remaining as this snap goes off on 3rd and 10. One more play, and then this thing will be done. Handoff goes to Florio. Florio has a hole, bounces it outside, and he's brought down right at midfield by Hightower, and that should do it.
I'll tell you, Casey, these guys from Waterford played all the way through. Even in that particular play, which is probably the last play of the game, they went and they tackled and they rapped and they played. So there's a lot of good things that Waterford could take from this game that will help them develop throughout the season. Again, I think they challenged a really good Branford team. Branford showed their poise, and yeah, man, really good game tonight.
Make sure you find us later on social media at Game Day CT. Find our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. Great debut for Coach Pasta here tonight on Game Day. Great debut for Branford on the season. Game effort by Waterford, 42-20 your final score. We hope that Nate Chifo and certainly Derek Rivera both respond well and get back on the field soon. 42-20, Branford on top. You've been watching Game Day live on theday.com.